memory.
Hey, give it to me, okay?
Listen.
She did get banished to an alternate dimension, but that was true.
You guys finished off the rest of the Aquarian dwellers in the island cave. You uncovered a massive tentacle creature in the bottom of the depths and acquired a few trinkets that had been left near its dwelling. Afterwards, you headed up a little bit and bunkered down inside a little nesting off in the cave for a long rest, which you do successfully complete. If you guys want to go on and long rest and pick spells or whatever while you figure out what your next plan is.
I think we had already done the long rest
Yeah,
last time.
I was just working on spells a minute ago.
So wait, we looted a rod that gets longer?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect for
what,
She gave it to Rafferty, doesn't have one.
There's everything's in the party loot. Actually, yeah.
Oh, I want the gloves of thievery. Give me the gloves of thievery.
Gloves of Thievery.
It's in our party loot.
I don't even
Where?
remember that.
That was one
I'm
of
trying
the
to
things we
find
just
the
got.
party.
Party loot.
we have dimensional shackles, folding boat, gloves. Oh yeah, gloves of theory.
I'll have you know that I have made very good use of sleight of hand checks on this character, and I would like to continue to do so.
No.
What do Gloves of Thievery do? I mean, will they help
You gain
you?
a plus
Felix?
5 bonus to dexterity. Oh yeah, they could. They add a plus 5 bonus to dexterity checks and dexterity checks made to pick locks.
No. Sleight of hand dexterity checks. And
Yeah,
dexterity
not
checks.
just dexterity checks.
I'm literally looking at it right now.
Yeah, sleight of hand is a dexterity skill. So sleight of hand.
How do I
Dexterity.
look at
Specifically
it?
sleight of hand.
Edit it. His little.
If you click on edit,
The
I mean,
wrench?
so you're telling me it does not give the bonus to dexterity checks made to pick locks.
Yes.
It does.
It gives it to sleight of hand and pick lockpicking.
It is a minor
That's
difference.
exactly what I said.
No,
No, you said dexterity checks.
which is different than sleight of hand and checks to pick locks.
I literally read it word for word, but okay. So anyway, that's what it does.
Yes. We also read it.
I just wanted to make it clear because not everyone's reading it. And
I can tell you right now that there is no way in hell Davi is ever going to let Rafferty have those gloves after what he did to Earlith.
What she's going to do is make him underwear made with the pole of collapsing.
Yes.
I would just like have you know that I've done everything in my power to keep Earlith and you safe.
Yeah. Oh,
But
man.
the fact remains that it is because of you that she is in this pickle.
She's
Or that
out of
she
the
got in
pickle.
that
We
pickle.
solved the pickle. Yeah, I helped solve the pickle.
And that's good, and that has redeemed you somewhat.
Yeah, it's
However,
unredeemed. So
She's
that does
gonna
not
let you-
mean that we are ready to jump whole hog into this lake. I prefer my feet on flat ground, and having you have those gloves is not flat ground.
you're
So,
gonna be really mad if I steal them, aren't you?
Jackie,
Oh my gosh, you can't.
would you like these gloves?
I mean, I'd use them.
Okay.
Well, that solves that problem.
Have we picked a lock in this campaign? Is anybody like proficient in lock picking? Is this the thing we've
Quit
never done?
Giving them ideas.
No. I don't know.
I am proficient in lockpicking.
Did you
He's
do
a
anything in the
rogue. Of course, he's proficient in lockpicking.
Don't have to be.
I don't remember. I have no idea.
Maybe in the
I think we
River Town.
tried to pick the lock and this.
I think we tried to pick the prison lock the first session with like some twigs.
Oh Lord.
There may have been opportunities too in the Arms Tower, but I don't remember.
You probably
There
murdered
were
people
probably a
instead.
ton of locked doors in that dungeon they were too afraid to go in.
It was years ago now. So.
I know, but I'm not letting him forget it. And I wasn't there, so can't blame me.
It's a floating disc.
It's a scroll. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would also like either of those scrolls if no one else does.
Unless Leo needs
I
them.
mean,
then,
as long as
yeah.
somebody has them, I don't care.
Okay, because then I basically can permanently ritual cast those.
I think that's for you guys to divvy up the scrolls.
I don't care.
Okay, I'm taking them.
Cool.
Floating disc and unseen servant. I'm just gonna add it
Did
to mine.
somebody want the rod?
What does it?
Yeah.
I closed it already.
It's
so.
a 1-foot rod that turns into a 10-foot rod, and then back again.
What's
I mean-
the purpose of that?
It is basically a shower tension rod.
Yeah, it's a shower curtain rod.
I mean, the only thing Davi would use is probably to extend it and beat Rafferty over the head when he's acting up, but you know.
I'm
Always a
super
fun
helpful.
time.
I'm super helpful.
Always a fun time. Okay.
You think I can't reach you because you're taller than me? Let me show you.
OMG.
No. No.
I think we need some more information on the pole to see how useful it is. Like, is it thick
I
enough to
don't know.
hold a bunch of people hanging from it? Are we talking blind turning wand
It's not
size?
like an immovable rod. That's a different item.
I mean, it's a pole. Its diameter is 1.5 inches.
Alright. What's its tensile strength, is what we're asking. Need specifics.
I mean, it is a wondrous item, so, you know, but it is also minor tiering common. It's probably
65,000 psi.
Perfect.
I mean, I guess
That's a lot of PSI.
is it meant to be like a staff that you can fight with, or I'm
mean,
really
You
confused.
could use it as a staff.
I think a quarterstaff is technically smaller than 10 foot.
I don't know. Yeah, 10 foot. That's really pretty big. Pole vaulting, you know. I don't know.
I leave
This
it
is
to
what they
your
call it.
creativity.
This is what you call a legacy item, where 10-foot poles was necessary equipment in the earlier editions.
If we were on the other campaign, I'd say that Markin could get 2 of them, and then he'd have like stilts. I could totally see him walking around on them.
Then we need to know what force it
OMG.
actually extends with, because then we can launch somebody with it.
So I will note that it only expands to fill whatever available space is. So
Yeah.
it's not
So if
one
you're
of
in a
those
5-foot wide
Yeah,
corridor,
push
it's
stuff
not
up.
gonna
That's a
bust
shame.
through.
it's not one of those Amazon like collapsible quarterstaffs. We're not
Just gotta
mulling
use it.
this.
Just gotta make a wagon and use it as an ejector seat.
So, what are you guys doing? What is your plan?
Do we rest?
Yes.
Is it a brand new day?
As much as a
All right.
day ever occurs in the Feywild.
Great.
Or in this part of the Feywild, anyway.
So do we want to go back and talk to I can't remember his name, and tell him about clearing all this out, or do we want to go?
So the question becomes, are we planning to come back this direction when we leave where we're going? Or do you think we're going to end up...
Once we leave here, we are definitely never returning to this place ever again.
Okay, then we should definitely go and talk to them, because didn't he promise us a reward?
I don't remember if he did or not, but
There's a 0% chance that we have enough planning to actually return to a place from whence we came.
how long did it take to get from where he was to here?
You did it in under a day, right? It was just a few hours?
Yeah, it was like half a day.
Wait, no, from where he was to there to find the cave? Yeah, but you guys also spent a lot of time looking around. The island's not that big, right?
No.
So, I mean...
I think we walked away from it, and then we circled back around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
So
spent
it'd
a lot
probably
of
just
time
take us a
hunting.
few hours to go there, and
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, we can just go back and talk to him, or I can send him a message either way.
Do you have spell slots to use? Because we could
Surely
do
not.
both.
Choice. Yeah, I just
We
pulled it up.
just
Okay.
we just did a long rest.
Because we could send him a message and find out if there's a point in us coming back.
That's true.
And then we can sneak back and burn down his entire tree.
I think that's not the message
Well
we
deserved.
want to send.
I mean, either way. So, I have 3/3 level spells, and I have all of them back. So, yeah, I can send
Yeah.
it.
Well, send him a message and we can head that way if he...
How does sending work? So I get. Is this
I feel
the
like we should
25
negotiate
word
a
one?
reward in advance.
Yeah.
Rather than tell him we did it and then come ask for one.
So this is the 25 words. So. Okay.
Fixed island, fish dead, coming back, have stuff. That, 15 you can just, jazz on.
Alright. So I'll send him a message, I guess. And just tell him, okay. Hi! I don't know if you remember me.
Yeah, we just left, but
That was way too fast, that was too many.
From yesterday at lunch.
Fish problem solved. I don't remember what else you said now.
I don't
That's a
remember.
lightning memory. Coming back to get
Stuff.
reward. To get reward, I said.
Get stuff, all the stuff.
See you soon. And I don't know what else to say. Bye. Have a nice day. There.
I hope we cut out
Okay.
the have a.
Have a. Okay. Is the responder limited to 25 words?
I think
No.
so.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I think it's
Oh,
implied,
really?
but it's not exactly actually listed.
Rules is written, yeah.
wow,
Your
that's
call.
weird.
Alright.
I think it's implied that they do that, but yeah, it's not actually printed out.
Oh.
So
That's odd.
I'm gonna cast the spell just so that I have cast. What?
That's a neat trick.
What?
But I asked for help in return for allowing you to, and it cuts off.
Guys, there's no reward.
Oh, well then
Cool.
let's not go back.
There's still a tree we can burn down.
Nah, they're not worth it. Let's just go.
So, you guys head up out of the cave?
Yep.
Is that here? Is that
Did
did
you
hear that?
screaming?
Yeah, I heard something. Is there screaming on someone else's end?
I don't know.
I mean, Felix, how's your end?
I don't know.
No screaming here, I don't think.
I don't think it was my kids. I think it was kids outside. So, anyway, you guys head back up. You're pretty close to the edge of the island anyway, but having spent so much time before kind of trying to figure out your way around and find the cave, you really don't have any
Oh
problem
no.
reorienting yourself to head back to wherever you want to go. Are you continuing north? What are you guys up to?
Yeah, we're gonna continue towards where we think we're supposed to go, right?
Okay.
If that was the direction we needed to go.
You were previously heading north, trying to get towards the Admiral's Island.
That does not mean that's where we need to go.
that was where you were previously going, if you're continuing that way. So you kind of like walk your way around and get back towards the north of the island. And you once again find yourself surrounded by a vast shining expanse. To the far east and west, you can see dim shadows on the horizon that you assume to be land, but the path straight ahead and north appears straight, clear, and endless. If you're ready to set back out onto your glass walk.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is a very uneventful, long, boring walk. You walk for the rest of the day, unimpeded. After several hours, your third meal, walking and going, perhaps resting every now and then, you feel your muscles begin to nag for a break. Do you choose to take up camp on the glass, or?
Is there any land within sight anywhere?
You can see very far in the distance to the east and west, just kind of like a black stenciled outline of land. But it's far. It would be hours of walking to get there.
You can choose to continue to press. You don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to rest.
I mean, I'm not anxious to sleep on this whatever, so.
I mean, I'm not either, as far as that goes.
Does your
This
little
is-
rope dangly thing hang in midair, or do you have to attach it to something?
No, it hangs in midair, but it only lasts an hour.
That's
So
only
it's only good for a short rest. Yeah.
All right. I say we press on.
All right. Let's do that as long as we can.
Okay. So you guys continue to walk, and you walk, and you walk, and still, I mean, the land begins to move actually further in the distance and become less clear and less clear and less clear. It seems as though the part of the sea that you're on is widening, and you guys remain somewhat in the center. You don't appear to be coming any closer to land. You feel yourselves getting more and more fatigued. You start to get the impression that if you do carry on, you will be acquiring points of exhaustion unless you choose to rest.
So, if we make the foldable boat, the folding boat.
The damaged folding boat?
Yeah, I
it's
don't care if it's damaged or not.
But we almost didn't get it back down to folded. I don't know that it'll survive unfolding it and re-folding it again.
I did some repairs on it, I thought.
I think you did try to mend
Yeah.
it some.
You thought?
Yeah. Let's see. So we can make can we make it into like a raft kind of thing that would sit on top of this water?
So in case something happened and it turned from glass to water, we would at least be on a raft.
Bingo. Bingo.
Yeah.
And then we can put the little hut on top of that, and that way,
Yeah, I if we can get it to work, that would be cool.
So if we can do that, that's what I would like to do.
Thank you.
Smaller boat only allows up to 4 medium creatures comfortably.
So we have to do it as a ship.
The second command is up to 15.
I mean, I'm okay with being uncomfortable as long as I don't have to sleep on this glass. But
Maybe.
you can walk on water too, so you're not as scared of it as maybe the rest of us.
It's
I mean,
10 foot long by 4 feet wide.
The raft or the boat?
The boat. The
Rowboat.
small boat.
So the dome is what? 10 feet
Radius.
diameter?
Radius.
We can use the small boat, and I'll sleep on the glass. I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, you can still sleep in the hut, but sleep on the part that's over the glass. So
Yeah.
if it
Yeah.
goes away and it becomes water, then you're just gonna land on some water, and it wouldn't even be that high up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys pull out your boat, make a little rowboat in the middle that's sticking straight, in the middle of the dome, and you got Jacobus over on the side laying down on the glass. Deer hut and everything. The glass is unforgiving and cold. It's not a fun place to rest, but
Hey, Jacobus, you can get in the boat. I don't have to sleep.
But he has a ring of water walking. He's going to leave enough room for the rest of us.
Yeah, but he can stretch out and be comfortable, because, I don't have to lay down.
I technically don't either.
Oh, okay. We're cool.
We can both be off and I can have more space.
I mean, if we've
We're
got the
gonna
hut
put
on
you in the
top
bag
of
of holding plenty of
we've
space.
got the
in
hut
there.
there, then we are all going to fit in it. It's just a matter of who's over the boat and who's over the
Of the water.
water.
I
Should
care
I-
about
should I
my
cast a
party
hut?
members and their well-being.
Nobody
Daffy.
told me about the hut. Should we cast a hut?
Yeah, I figured you'd ritual cast the hut.
I'll ritual cast a hut.
I mean, we were literally talking about it.
You assumed. It's nice to be asked.
Well, Davi would have asked you. She's a nice person.
She didn't.
with an impeccable memory.
Yes.
Don't tease her.
I mean
She
it.
is
I'm
the cleric.
grateful. I'm serious.
I was warning the others. She is our cleric.
So I think we should probably still try to maybe break us up a little and take some watches just in case.
Two of
I
these
would-
people you said they weren't gonna sleep. We're fine.
Yeah,
Consider-
really.
That's right. They technically don't need to sleep. They can keep watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
We certainly can. Will we? Well, let's find out. Do.
Okay. So do you guys?
Well, before I sleep, I want to do something. I want to do another sending. And Davi is going to send a message, hopefully, to her father,
Oh, okay.
is what she's going to try to do.
Okay.
I think I
Intercepted by
mentioned
Lear.
at the end of
Intercepted by
last one
Lear.
that she really wanted to try to talk to.
Tag.
Hold on.
I think you get to do a dice roll to see if it goes to the wrong plane.
Roll a d100.
Wow, never rolled one of those. Not in here, anyway. Okay,
Okay.
so she'll say, "Hey, Papa. Davi here. Just checking in with you. Had some bad visions of home. Is everything okay?" Love you. There, that's 25.
So the response you get back isn't coherent. It comes across more as I wouldn't say rambling, but there are sounds as if the person responding is trying to shape words but isn't able to. And it goes on for a little bit, and it's very drawn out, but then the message ends.
This is not good.
Well, I hope you have a good night's sleep, Davi.
It's true.
I would like to mentally reach out towards Lear to see if I get a response.
Okay.
Hey, boss.
Nothing.
All right, I'm gonna get out my book and studiously write in the back under Jacobus's name. No response from Lear. Concerned walking into trap.
All right.
Can you imagine what that feels like? Like the squishy pages as you try to write?
Oh, it's a super creepy, gross, wet book. It's
Very-
awful.
Pry a barnacle off before you start writing. Okay, is there anything else anyone would like to do before you rest?
Well, Davia will just tell, particularly Leo, and if the others are around or close or whatever,
It's a
fine,
10 by
whoever
4
wants to hear.
boat. Everybody's around.
Okay. Well, I didn't know where everybody was at for sure, but anyhow, so when I went away, I ended up. I think I got put back in our homeland in the Primaterial Plane, and it's really bad over there. And I just tried to contact my dad, and he's alive, I think, but I couldn't understand, and he couldn't respond clearly.
That doesn't bode well.
No. So I will help all of you do what I have to do, but I have to go home at some point.
Well,
I have to.
I have a feeling. Have out of character? Have we theorized that whatever's happening here is having an effect on the prime material plane as well?
I think we've been flat out shown or told
Yeah,
that
I think
it
we
is.
were told
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, if we solve the problem here, hopefully that would go away towards solving the problem in the prime material plane as well. Of course.
Well, I'm gonna help all of y'all. I'm gonna need help. I mean, I think this is bad over there, and I think
So too.
I need all of you if you can help. But either way, at some point, I'm going back. So, and I think Leo kind of wants to go back eventually too, because
Well, yeah, he's got all his money to spend and nowhere to spend it.
so. All right.
mean-
Well, we need to get some rest. We've got a big day maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get to wherever we're going. If we have spells that can help, I don't know. Let's see what I can memorize. Is there... I can do locate object, but it would have to be within 1,000 feet. It has to be something familiar to me, and I don't think that's going to help.
Do you have locate person?
I have locate creature, but it's also within 1,000 feet.
And does it have to be somebody you know?
It has to be a specific creature known to me.
Yeah. So that's not gonna work either.
I mean, if creature you described or named is in a different form, like in a polymorph or something, then it would fail. So, I mean, knowing if I'm looking for Lear and based off of the descriptions and everything, I think, because Rafferty could give a really good description of him, I think it might work, but I don't know.
Your faith in my ability to describe him is appreciated.
Well,
I'm sure he used his true form when I saw him, and I know exactly what he looks like.
Well, I mean,
the only other thing I know to do, Rafferty, is I can try to do a sending to him and see if it gets through. Obviously, he's not talking to you right now, but maybe he would answer me? I don't know. I really don't know.
He picks when he responds and not. And we're on the way with the bag. So perhaps he just doesn't feel the need to spend any mental energy on it. were of minor concern to him. He has much more important things going on. Awful things, really. But I can't say for certain whether his lack of communication is a bad sign, but it is disquieting. I'd expect the taunt or goading by now.
All right.
Are my shoes still leaking water constantly, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's wonderful.
Well, then he's alive, hopefully. So.
I mean, in theory, I guess that's how that works.
It's just a sticky kind of curse.
All right. Well, I guess let's get some rest.
Okay. So you guys all bunker down for the night.
Yeah.
With Rafferty and Jacobus staying up and keeping watch. It's completely uneventful. No signs of life. Every now and then, beneath the surface of the glass, now that you're still, you'll hear like a little thud or like a scrape. You know, it appears that there is still life or something going on underneath here, but nothing consistent, too loud, nothing that really alarms you. And otherwise, everyone manages to get a full night rest. Nothing interrupting, no sign of seabirds or other creatures or anything like that. Almost uneasy with the still and the quiet.
Okay.
So you wake next morning, manage to have your morning meal and everything, and are ready to head out for a new day.
I'm gonna change one. I'm gonna drop sending and pick up a different spell then. Okay.
So you guys head out.
Yeah.
You begin walking and
gather up our boat too to take
Yes.
it with us.
Take your boat. As usual, it's kind of hard to tell how long you've been walking, you know, what time of day it is, given the never-moving sun. But you guys continue on. Several hours in, though, Jacobus, you begin to hear this dull, rhythmic thud coming from somewhere near you.
I'm going to stop and ask anyone if they hear that.
Davy will search around, listen, just trying to see if she can figure out something.
Davy, you in particular definitely hear it. It does appear to be a sound that's coming somewhere near Jacobus.
It's
From
by
below?
you, Jackie.
Could very well be coming from below.
Get in the boat. Get in the boat.
Can
This
we
is when we're
see
walking, right?
anything?
Yes.
Yes.
Looking down, the surface of the water, the glass kind of reflects as a mirror, so just looking down, you can't really make out anything. You could try to get a closer look.
I'm going to ask everybody to move away a little bit.
I move away a little bit.
Davy's gonna try to watch as he. I mean, she'll move away a little bit, but she'll try to watch and pay attention.
I
So,
would like
Jackie,
to be
try
prepared.
to walk and let's see if it moves with you.
I'll walk like 5 feet.
Walk 5 feet, and a few minutes later you'll hear it again. Definitely, now that you're really paying attention, it definitely sounds like a knocking.
Davy will walk up a little closer and lean down and knock.
It knocks back, copying the rhythm.
I cast minor illusion and make an image of Jacob's face appear underneath the ice water mirror.
There's more fervent knocking now.
I think they want you.
I'm going to try to put my heel through the surface.
Okay, roll a strength check for me.
Oh,
You're not as young as you used to be, Jacobus. Careful with that hip.
Or athletics, strength or athletics.
oh, I'll definitely go with an athletics.
You kind of slam your heel into it, but unfortunately it just doesn't seem to be enough to break the glass.
Rafferty
what-
will cannonball into the water next to Jacobus.
It's glass. You
Oh.
Not water.
I thought it was I thought it was water that he was trying to stick his heel. Okay, that explains the strength check.
Yeah.
No, you guys are still on the glass.
Can we see through the glass to water?
You have not. You've kind of like. I don't think anybody's tried to really peer through it. As it's standing above it and just kind of looking down with the reflective surface, it's hard to see through it. If you want to roll a perception check, you can see if you can kind of like find a way to get a better view.
Okay, I'm absolutely doing that because I have plans. All right, don't screw the. I don't know why that's advantage. I have no idea why.
I don't know what the other one.
You're
was.
right-clicking.
You right-clicked.
That's okay. Regardless, you kind of kneel
Okay,
down.
well,
Is
yeah.
11.
+2,
So
so.
13.
As you kneel
13.
down and kind of look, you can see something moving beneath. And for a moment,
Can I see the water? Is the question.
it does appear that the glass does not go all the way down. There does appear to be water underneath the glass.
Okay, so I can see the water. That's all I needed to know. YOLO!
Okay.
I am going to attempt to force the glass apart slowly but powerfully with shape water.
Davi's gonna move back
I don't know if this is going to work.
and be prepared
So-
with control water in case things go wrong.
Describe to me what you are trying to do with the water.
Leo's
Okay.
actually gonna start ritual casting the hut again.
I am going to... It doesn't have enough force to cause damage. Yeah, that's not going to work. Interesting.
I mean,
If I freeze it, that should potentially cause the ice to shift, but not by a lot. I'm going to change the opacity of the water under Jacobus to completely black and inky. Cannot be seen through.
I mean, we don't know if this is the surface is diamond-like, but we don't know if it's water or if it's. I mean, you could try to shape it with that and just see if it works, but
No,
you might be
shape
wasting
water
a
doesn't
spell.
work on ice. It works on liquid water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make it like dark and
Yeah,
opaque.
so hopefully whatever's under there can no longer see Jacobus.
Okay. As you do that, there's a moment of silence, and then Urolith, you hear beneath your feet.
There are things down there that are obviously trying to get up here to eat us, and I'm going to suggest we all get into the boat. They're not attracted to Jacobus because they want to talk to Jacobus.
But we're not on water. Why are we in a boat? There is no water.
Because I'm assuming that they're going to get through this glass at some point.
As the moment passes, you hear the same rhythm that Davi did before.
Wait, they're doing
Do I
shaving and
Davi will do
haircut?
it back. Just for
Do I recognize this as any kind of? I mean, does it seem to
Knocking?
be communicative? Like,
It's
Morse
definitely rhythmic. There definitely appears to be an intelligence behind the knocks. It's not just random. It doesn't appear to be overly, it doesn't sound like something trying to pound through the glass. It's more of a attention grabber.
Davi is going to cast Detect Evil and Good
Okay.
to see if this under the water is.
Can we get a
Yeah,
readout of the party
I
while
don't
you're
have
at it?
Sorry, I placed a template and I didn't mean to, so I don't know what it's trying to do. But
Can you just get a quick glance around at your party members while you're at it and see just get a little feel?
it doesn't matter. Everything within a 30-foot radius, and then Davi's just going to kind of walk around to see.
The creature beneath you, you get a mixed
It lasts for 10 minutes.
is definitely Fey.
Whatever's down there is Fey. I don't think it's necessarily evil.
Everything here is Fey.
As far as getting a feel of good or evil, it doesn't ring either. There seems to be some kind of middle ground, neutral, chaotic feel going on here.
I mean, I don't know if it's not evil. I mean, I can tell you that. That's all I can tell you.
He's just
for
very,
sure.
very hungry. Let's go.
Yeah, but just because it's, I mean, I don't know.
It's not necessarily hostile, but you know.
You might
Wolves
know
aren't
the way
evil, just
with
eat you
which we're
still.
going.
Well, let's try headed towards the direction we're going and see what it does.
Down?
We're not going down. We're trying.
That's where they are. Under you.
I know, we're not. I said try to go the direction we are going and see what they do. If we start moving on. I mean, maybe they need to be rescued.
We need to be rescued.
I mean, I can try to break through I mean, I can just take my axe and try to break through, but I don't know what that would do.
Dobby, roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay.
We've seen the edges of this at one point, right?
You've seen where the glass met the shore. So
Like-
Dobby, as you hear... I'm sorry, go on. Leo.
Like when we sailed into it, did it look like super
Yes.
thick, or was that...
It's probably... Kai, help me with measurements. How thick is the glass?
How many football fields thick was the ice mirror?
About 1/100th of a football field. No,
Alright,
it's
so a
about-
yard.
It's a foot thick.
A foot thick? I was thinking with like 3
Car
inches.
disappeared.
All right, 3 inches. Fine.
It's not that thick. And you were able to see it
Okay.
when it came up against like the edge of the
I mean, Krell, where have been walking this entire time?
I
now.
think Cag just got a little deflated.
Davi, as you hear the rhythm over by your lift, you know, you're kind of trying to... Part of the problem with the glass is just the way the sun is hitting it. It makes it hard for you to see. You kind of lean this way and that. And finally, as they're talking about, well, should we keep walking, this, that, and the other, you kind of crouch down and like cup your hands around your eyes and kind of like put it to the glass to see if you can peer beneath. And getting that sun out of the way, you were able to see beneath the glass a young woman. She has her palms pressed up against the surface. Her hair is the color of seaweed and her skin the color of sand. She has almond eyes that crinkle with mirth as you look down, and she twiddles her fingers in a greeting.
Well, Davi will wave back, and describe what you just described to the others. So, I mean,
Okay, so not a threat. We can ignore it. Let's move on.
well, I mean, it could be a siren, and she could try to drown us if we try to get out of there, or maybe she could
She's-
help figure out where the heck.
As long
what's
as we
going
don't in
on?
open water, she's on there and we're here and everything's safe.
Hold on a sec. So, does anybody have the cantrip to be able to
Message? No,
message?
do not.
Okay, I don't have that one. And I
Uh,
dropped sending. That was real great.
do we know Forgotten Realm sign language? I can minor illusion the hands down there.
um. Let's see. All right, what the hell? I'm gonna take my axe and I'm gonna step away a bit from the others, and I'm gonna try to break through. I'm gonna motion her to stay back.
Okay, roll a strength or athletics check for me.
Is what are we expecting to gain from this? We've established she's fine.
What is that? It's okay.
The best thing will happen is we get drowned.
Alright. You swing back your axe, and as you slam it down into the glass, you make a significant crack in it. It doesn't quite seem to splinter as much as you might need to be able to get down below, but you were definitely making progress.
Leo
Is there
walks
any
the
water
way up.
seeping up?
It does. Up through the crack a little bit, you're able to get these little waves now.
Hey, Rafferty, I started a crack. There's water here now.
I'm going to try to force the crack larger by freezing the water in the crack with control water or shape water.
Leo tries to walk several football fields away.
So
Davi's gonna.
as you freeze the water there, you can see the spiderweb cracks span out from the axe indentation in the glass.
Davi's gonna back up away from the spiderweb crack.
It doesn't.
Yeah, Earlith is gonna stay far away from cracks in the glass as well.
They're very fine cracks, and they clearly don't go all the way down to the bottom. But you can't see the water beneath the mark on the glass right now.
You do see though some of the pieces start to kind of like push up a little bit.
All right. Well, Davi will edge closer a little bit and try to give it another whack.
Okay, another roll for me, please.
This has happened over 6 seconds. I'm 30 feet away.
Okay, you go and you swing down, and unfortunately this time it just doesn't quite seem to hit right. It kind of slides on the glass instead. There's a pause after you take your swing, and then once again you see some of the chunks kind of being pushed up, and you can see them lifting like maybe half an inch, but there doesn't seem to quite be enough to budge yet.
Gotta love a lever, and give me that stupid rod, and Davi's gonna try to cram it in there and pull it back.
Okay.
Davi's the bard.
Make an athletics check with advantage for me.
Okay. Let's see. Right click. You said yeah.
All right, so you take it and you get it down in there, and you do manage to kind of wedge it in, especially as it begins to lift up a little bit, and you're able to kind of pull and crack, and you get a little. You can feel one of the larger pieces kind of snap a little bit. There's a pause, and then you see two hands kind of come over and lift it almost as though they were coming out of like a sewer crate, and kind of balance it and slide it up over onto one of the pieces of glass. After a few moments, there's this little head that comes up, clearly a humanoid female figure, and just the eyes crest above the glass as she considers all of you for a moment.
Do we recognize her at all?
You don't. She does not seem familiar to you.
Davi's gonna back up a little bit, not wanting to be pulled down into the water.
Good thinking
Hi.
now.
Do you understand common?
She nods.
Oh, good. Were you
Did a
trapped
sea
down
witch?
there, or
Yeah, did a sea witch steal your voice to go seduce your prince?
That's remarkably specific. How did you know?
I figured you guys didn't have time to prep, so you lifted this. So I'm.
well, I mean, we were told that Little Mermaid was Cag's favorite movie, so
That's
true.
What?
You're Disney.
Disney.
You loved The Little Mermaid when you were a kid.
I don't know. It's my favorite
You
movie.
told me you loved The Little Mermaid when
I
you were a
watched
kid.
it a lot.
Then what's your favorite Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie.
Casta, do you like The Little Mermaid and he was trying to impress you?
No, I like Aladdin. I was never a princess person. Aladdin and Robin
I
Hood.
definitely watched a lot of Aladdin and a lot of.
Guys, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is true. Like Ursula did Ariel a favor. Can you imagine how quick she'd have been friend zoned if she showed up able to talk and she's like, "Give me the who's it, what's it for the flufferdoodle."
Oh, crazy lady, put it back in the sea.
So,
Favorite Disney movie? That's a good question.
listen, it's too late. You totally
Does Marvel
I have
count?
a memory. What?
Does Marvel count?
Anyway, so we're moving on. So,
Sorry.
you're totally fine.
I think Deadpool's a Disney movie now.
Is it? That's
Disney owns Fox. Yeah.
Why were you trying to get our attention?
She kind of lifts up a little bit. You can see about the top of her clavicle and shoulders now. I was hoping you knew what had happened.
No, we
This
just
could be
got
horrible.
here, and yeah, how long has it been this way?
A while. Too long, if you ask me. I've gotten bored. Are you guests of the Admiral, too?
We're on our way to see him. Yes.
Oh. Can you ask him what's going on, then?
Yes.
Why do you say two?
Because he already has some guests.
Can you
What
tell
were
us
those?
about
Who were
these
those guests?
I don't know much about them. I just know that he said we wouldn't be playing for a while.
Well, the Sprite Queen had some guests, and they turned out to be kind of bad and trapped her, but we got her free. So we didn't know if something might have happened to the Admiral. Has anybody seen or heard anything?
He hasn't come to us for a while, but he seemed very excited about the guests. He told us that he would be gone for a bit. He said the games would have to wait.
What games?
The
Oh, don't
battles.
ask. You're gonna hate this.
The battles, the beefs, the mischief. You know, the usual stuff.
Do you
I'm
know where
gonna-
the Admiral's at?
I mean, on his island, I would assume.
Can you get us to his island, or do you know the way?
And she turned some points north. I can get you there if you want to go with me.
Does that mean we have to come under the glass?
Yes.
Well, I can
Ah.
breathe underwater, and I can share that with someone, so I'm fine with that.
Not so crazy about water, but you know.
What's she saying?
This comes a voice distant across the.
It's okay, Leo. You can come back.
No!
She has gold.
Don't believe you.
I don't have gold, but I do have pearls.
She has
Just-
pearls. Totally legit.
That's the worst gemstone.
But it's still a gemstone.
Can maybe we just walk along on the surface and you can lead, tap here and there just to kind of help guide us towards where we need to go?
I can do that for a while. I can't promise I won't get bored, but I can do that for a while. I would
Well,
like to
I
do
mean,
that.
I can keep
We
you
can-
company under the
Yeah,
glass.
we can make a game of it and tap out songs to each other or something,
And
right?
as Rafferty offers to keep her company, she curls a wide smile and you see a row of serrated teeth. You're welcome to join me if you would like.
If I do so, be advised that I'm already spoken for. So,
By who?
the Admiral.
The Admiral.
Never mind, I'm not interested in you then. But I can carry on for a while if you would like and lead you there.
Are you a siren?
Great.
That's a word that has been used. It's not my favorite, but it is a word that has been used.
Well, I only mean to understand you, not insult you. Is there a word you prefer?
The Admiral likes to refer to us as the merfolk.
Yes, well, I may not entertain you the way you wish, but I could at least keep you company if you don't mind not killing me.
Thank you, but I'll pass. That takes all of the fun out of it.
We're definitely not getting in the water, guys. Good call, Leo.
Gotta shout louder.
Good call, Leo.
I know.
No, I was just hoping that you would know more. Most of my sisters are still back
Well,
home
we
working.
intend to find out what's going on. Is there a way we can contact you if we obtain the information you would like?
The Admiral tends to like me. If I can get his attention, hopefully I can get him to let me out again. But we'll see. I trust him regardless. At some point, I'm sure the games will return. He favors them too, so he surely won't keep us waiting for too long.
Yes, but if there's something amiss on his island when we get there, is there a way we can contact you to warn you?
Not that comes to mind. In general, I just speak to the people I wish to contact unless you have a way to break the glass and get beneath the surface.
I can send you messages by thought if you will sign my book.
I know better than that.
It's the Admiral's book. If you trust him, you should sign it.
Tacky.
I appreciate the offer, but I trust the Admiral, and what he says is best. I will wait patiently until he has changed his mind.
Very well.
But if you do find he is in danger of some sort and there's a way you could let us know, we will gladly aid.
Good to
Sound
know.
travels far across the water, so keep your ears open.
All right. Well, I will continue to look for answers. I will head north with you, I suppose, if that's what you would like.
Yes, we would.
It shouldn't be too much longer before you run into the others.
Other merfolk or others of another kind?
She just grins again. The others. You'll see. This way. She goes back into the water.
Leo, you're going to want to bring it back in.
I'm
I
very
go
concerned.
closer. Well, at least nobody offered to go down there and get murdered.
No, I specifically offered to go down there and not get murdered. And
Okay.
she, being an honest person, said that
Murder person.
would be murder. So,
Person.
yeah, murder folk. That's
All right. Well, we'll start heading north.
All right.
yeah. Just have the right questions, guys. They're not awful. Okay, they're all awful. They're all uniquely awful. First rule of the Feywild: they are all awful. There is no, oh, this Archfey is better than that Archfey. No, they all suck. You just have to know the flavor of suck.
Phrasing? Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
Keg, I always do phrasing.
Davi will stomp along and try to stomp out whatever dwarven marching rhythms she can, changing it up and varying it as she can to try to keep this thing interested as long as she can.
And it seems to work, Davi. Just a few feet in front of you, you hear, and the creature below responds with the same rhythm. Every now and then there will be a little bit of a break, but she seems to keep true, at least for the next few hours as you guys continue on.
Hey, you know any good dragonborn ones, Earlith? Maybe you can tap out some too. Why is Leah not showing us?
I'm here.
Yeah, but you're hidden.
Yay, it's a Leo.
I know.
They want to see your face.
Yeah. You can't
Yeah.
monitor you at all times. How do you know you're paying attention?
Oh my god. Seriously. I mean I don't know any particular, I guess we could do some dances or something.
There you go.
instead. I don't know. So we'll do that. She'll do a little tappy dance thing.
Imagine Dragonborn dances are interesting because they have a tail for balance.
Yeah.
Not all Dragonborn have tails.
Sorry, that was racist.
So,
Uh-huh.
you guys tap out rhythms. She responds by mirroring it. Every now and then she'll switch it up and she'll tap back a rhythm in return. But she seems to stick with you for several hours. As you guys continue on heading north, you pass the time of your midday meal.
So, as you finish up eating,
Oh, Kag's talking. Roll initiative.
as you go, Davi, out in the corner of your eye, you see what looks like movement. Not directly ahead. It's off to your left a ways, but there are definitely figures moving on the horizon.
Davi will make sure to point those out to Jackie and Fearless especially, but the others as well if she can do it.
Okay. Hold on.
Aunt Mel was calling her, I think.
Now we got video, but no sound. I know which one's better.
You only get one.
We're gonna need video and sound at the same time.
Can we
Listen,
choose?
I was trying to answer Aunt Mel now. Now what happened? I missed everything.
Davi was just pointing out the figures in the distance that we could kind of see moving, making sure that you and Jackie
Yeah, I wanted
especially
to-
knew.
Yeah, I wanted to try to get a better look.
Can Leo maybe
Like,
send
shield
Stick
my
over that way?
eyes.
I'm always unaware of Stick's status as alive or dead, but I think he's alive,
I
so
think he's
sure.
Definitely.
Well, he's had several days that he could have brought him back. I
I
think.
mean, he could have ritual casted back.
Oh,
Actually,
I mean,
though,
materials list for
before we look a little closer at these folks, can we take a break?
Sure.
I know it's right at 10, but I want to go get them settled. So,
It's actually only
Alright.
9.
well, it's
Not
10
on real
on
time.
regular time.
Okay, we will see you guys in a minute.
Central means
All right,
it's
thanks. Bye. Be
where
back.
everybody congregates around.
Said okay earlier. And I'll text. Let you You all arrived back, like, at the same time. It was like Cat, Cast, and Tab, and Honey all at one time.
Who's Leah talking to?
I was talking to y'all. I said y'all all came back right at the same time.
Yeah, but we couldn't hear you because none of us had our headphones on.
Casta had her headphones on. She was grinning. She heard me.
She just does that.
Aunt Mel says, "Thank you for babysitting me," because she was tired of it.
Yeah.
And second,
Tell her that's why we only do this once a week.
So you only have to put up with me once a week. We talk every day. Of course, we only do like the whole video chat thing.
We're taking a 5-minute break.
We were taking a 5-minute break. 5 minutes up.
Mr. Robot, by the way, is
I need
getting
5
weirder and weirder.
It was very strange. Also, you're muted.
I think CAG has y'all muted. Cast the bill.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I said no, I have to check it out.
Mr. Robot's like, whole first season's building something, then he has time skips past that whole thing and just lost the plot entirely.
Sounds excellent.
Weird show.
Caroline likes your headphones, Casta.
Thanks.
What about mine?
She also says she wished they were wireless.
You're not wearing it half the time, which automatically makes me hate them.
What did you throw on the floor?
So, it's a fidget thing.
It looks like a pill container.
It's like
it's
popping,
like perma bubble wrap.
It's like fake bubble wrap.
It's fantastic.
World's worst waffle iron.
It would be.
Casta finds all the best fidget stuff. It's
Because
usually for the children, but I take them.
No, it's not.
No.
You're counting.
She tells you it's for the children because she loves you.
Also fact. But I'm paying
We've
more
already established
attention
you part of the
now than I have in many other sessions, so you're welcome.
Because I have a child who forgets he's supposed to be writing his name halfway through writing his name. I'm like, focus.
For the record, Red Dead Redemption, the single player game, is almost as annoying as the multiplayer version.
Okay.
So, we had a horse. We started with a horse. We have a horse. We did a mission. You jumped on another horse in the middle of the mission. Now that's your horse. But you have to bond with it. The other horse is just gone.
Well, you cheated on it.
So it's like life?
We didn't cheat on it. It's literally a cutscene and he jumps on another horse.
So you didn't get
They
a
needed
choice.
an excuse to make you use the horse system, but also start you in the first mission with a horse.
I'm not supposed to bond with these if you're just going to randomly abandon them every now and then.
It probably is a one-off, because it wouldn't make sense to start you without a horse in the Wild West, and yet they also want to introduce you to the horse bonding system.
Yeah, no, they have. You have a whole thing.
This is game design. That's all that is.
It brings some weight to set the default horse for story missions, so you always start with the one horse you want in story missions. Like, just have one horse! Give me a horse!
But can you sell the stolen horse?
Probably.
All right, I think we're back in this frozen hellscape.
Okay.
It's not frozen.
It's mirrored.
It's glass.
It's a mirror.
We're back in the Hall of Mirrors.
So, we're talking about Stick.
Are we?
Yeah, you were going to send Stick over to see what those figures were in the distance.
I sent Stick over to see what those figures are.
Stick is immediately filled with arrows.
He's used to it.
Okay.
Wait, what is Stick doing?
Going over to see the figures in the
Yeah.
distance.
he takes to the air, flapping his majestic white wings,
Describe to
circling
me.
above our heads, just screeching to mark his dominance over the air before taking off, soaring through the sky over towards the figures in the distance.
I just expected some sort of instruction to stick, because you can't.
It's mental. You can't
see
hear it.
through his eyes past 100 feet.
Oh. Are they over 100 feet away?
They're very far away. They are mere
Okay, but in football
silhouettes.
fields.
Only Davi can really pick them out.
Okay, but then I'm not send sticks. I don't know where they are.
Dobby will point out where they are.
Okay, I send stick.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Are you... All right.
Dobby, what are we doing with these people?
Stick flies off into the distance, and having no fucking idea why he's doing
Oh my
it.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Send him out to see if he can tell what they are.
Oh.
Too late. Sorry, you're gone. I unsummon stick and summon him back again. Okay, start again. I send the stick out. He soars into the sky.
Oh Jesus!
You created this.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I just.
And I tell Stick, like, there's shit over there. Go look at it. Come
100%
back.
your fault.
Tell Papa what it looks like.
All right. Stick soars off, trying to figure out who the fuck Papa is. And it takes a while.
He knows. He knows.
Yes, Stick has daddy issues. So I presume you are continuing to walk as this,
I assume we're walking in that direction. It will
Are you-
cut down on Stick's travel time.
you're walking towards the silhouetted figures. Yes, no, group.
Dobby, you're the one who can see them apparently.
Yeah, he's gonna fly out.
Tell me what your
and
elf eyes
swoop
see.
over and see what he can see, and come back and report and give us a description of whatever those
yes.
figures are. That it,
Are you
But in the
guys-
meantime-
Are you guys walking towards them? Or are you continuing forward? What are you guys doing?
now we'll continue going forward. I think.
Okay.
Okay. So, you can see the silhouettes continuing off southward.
Wait. Where are we going? North?
Yes,
They're south?
they're traveling south off to
Oh,
the,
okay. They're
the
coming
west.
towards
West
us.
heading south.
No, they're not coming towards you. If all right, pictures.
Can we get a chart?
You are heading north. They are
If
far
you
west
are
of you.
here-
They're walking south.
Okay. They're walking
They're
opposite
walking
parallel.
Each other.
this way.
Yes. Yes.
Two ships passing in the ocean.
Yes.
And you-
I don't know where
walking
Cart's
this way.
driving because I'm not drawing because I'm on the same page as him, but I'm glad he found something to entertain himself.
It's a terrible color for this map. All right. So, you continue on, and you're walking for 15, 20 minutes before Stick finally wings his way back. And when he
What's he got,
arrives,
Papa?
he lands on Papa's shoulder and describes to you it was a pair of humanoids with large leathery wings and tails, and their skin was red. Beyond that,
It was a family of Jacobus.
Demons.
So, does Leo relay this to the group?
No. I don't know why you ask this every time. Yes, he tells the group.
Because you never say whether you do or you don't. So, okay.
Leo just assumes everybody can hear Stick.
Well,
What
Um,
did Stick tell you?
People that look kind of Jacobus, but they're cooler because they have wings. They're coming.
does
over
it
there.
sound
Demons.
like something?
Two of them.
Does it sound like something that Earlith recognizes the description?
Or Jackie?
Or Jackie, I guess.
I mean, red,
But-
leathery wings and tails could be some of.
It's demons, guys. They're demons.
They could, based on that description. I mean, what things have you encountered that have that? It could be dragonkin.
Gargoyles.
All right, how far away from this are they? They're a very far distance right
They're-
now, right?
I mean, they're at least a 20-minute flying round trip.
Okay.
Like 40 minutes if you're earlift.
So I want to just take a minute then and do. Hold on, let me get my sheet up. I didn't even have my sheet up. Give me just a second.
Can we pin it here too?
I want to do. I want to do. What is it? Features. Do.
So, just throwing it out there, we don't have to make fence with every creepy person that lives in this hellhole of a realm where literally everybody is trying to kill us. Just saying, it's okay to walk around.
I mean, if they're demons, it'd be nice to know that.
There's nothing that sentence ends well with.
I tend to actually agree with Leo. We don't have a reason to stop. This may confirm some of our concerns about what's going on and what we're walking into, but we don't need to delay ourselves and get into a fight or alert them to our presence.
Right, no, I don't want to alert them to our presence. I want to do the thing. I want to
We're
do
already
the thing,
following one nice murder lady.
but I can't find it.
No, what I was thinking is we maybe could try to a little bit of deception.
Are you doing
here.
the ranger awareness thing, whatever?
Yeah, but I can't find it on my sheet.
Stand by.
It's like you spend a minute and you know everything within 5 miles of you. That's your
Right.
favorite.
Yeah, for some reason it's not on my sheet anymore, though. I don't know why.
But I was thinking that if you walked up to him, Rafferty, and said, "Hey,"
Yo, just go walk up to the Hey, how you doing?
I'm here to. I serve Lear, and I'm here to meet my master or something.
And then they throw me in whatever jail cell they have him
If they
in.
attack me, we kill them. But then I'd like to know if they go, "Oh, yes," and I mean, if suddenly they're friendly because Leary's on friendly terms with the demons, then we would know a piece of information. And if not, then we might know that Lear is perhaps a little bit more in a dire strait. You see what I'm saying?
A minor illusion, a couple of small wings on Jacob. I
I found it. It wasn't scrolled up. Okay. Yeah, I want to do the. It's the primeval awareness. I found it. I wasn't scrolled all the way up on this stupid sheet. Okay.
So it was on there. You just weren't scrolling correctly.
Listen, I do not want to talk about it right now, and it takes a minute.
We'll circle back around later, okay?
It takes a minute in concentration, and I can sense whether any of my favorite enemy are present within 5 miles. It reveals exactly what is present, their number, and their general direction and distance.
And your favorite enemy is?
Fiends and undead.
So, within 5 miles of you, you detect that there are certainly, hold on. So, out to essentially the half circle in front of you, you can detect that there are a good dozen or so of your favorite enemy. Fiends, specifically.
Okay. Yeah, definitely fiends. And about how far, what is their general direction and distance from us?
They are off to the left, right, and in front of you.
Oh, God. They're all the way around in front of us. They're on either side, and in front, there are fiends.
I can make one other person breathe under the water. Does anyone else have the capability? Obviously, Leo can turn into some manner of fish.
I'm not real interested in going under the water and being eaten, thank you. think we keep going forward, but we try to take a maybe start skirting around so that we're not seen by these things.
But
I'm
if
gonna
we
revise
pass them,
my
they'll be
suggestion
behind
that we
us.
go close.
Yeah, if we pass them, they'll be behind us.
Which of the fiends that I sense have the least amount of numbers in their group?
The ones off to your flanks tend to have
Less numbers than the ones
2,
directly in front of us.
3 in their groups.
I say we try to avoid these ones
Good
and
plan.
continue
I
to
thought
move forward, but I would like to kind of come up along the side of where I sensed the ones that were like direct in front of us that have the most numbers. I still don't want to engage their attention either. But directly in front of us is the most number in the groups. And then there are groups kind of in front of us, but to the left and to the right. But they have fewer numbers.
How long's that last?
I just sensed it instantly, I guess, after the minute's concentration. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think it's
if it changes, I would have to concentrate again to see if anything changed.
How often can you use it?
There is no limitation.
All
It's
right, well-
just an action.
She has a
It's
standstill
an
for a minute.
uninterrupted minute of concentration too. So obviously, if we can see them and they can see us, it's not. I mean, it's useless. It's really only good for a distance.
Maybe we start trying to pick our way through and find the path of least resistance. And just every time we kind of get a little ways along, we'll just pause and
Do you remember
reassess.
how many demons there were in the Sprite Queen's domain?
a ton.
So many.
Do you expect it to be less here? I
Not
seriously
necessarily, but we made it through that, so
There are
Yeah,
less here.
using subterfuge. I
So I-
believe we should be attempting subterfuge.
Gag. Do I sense more or less demons than were around the Sprite Queen's castle?
Less.
There's many less, or just less in general?
Many less.
There's many less demons in front of us than there were around the Sprite Queen's castle.
Are we within range where you would actually be able to tell how many are on Lear's Island? I don't think that we know that.
This is within 5 miles of us right now.
I mean,
Yes.
I think we need to keep going north and just kind of divert a little bit to avoid the bigger groups of them and
I agree.
try to be as quiet and subtle as we can and then get off of this stupid glass so we can get onto the island and hopefully have a little bit more cover.
I don't like how exposed we are on this glass.
No. So I think we're just going to have to take it slow and try to get as far along as we can, just being cautious. Pausing for a minute every so often to see. And I'll keep scanning. I mean, I'll try to keep an eye out. Fortunately, I can see things pretty good, so hopefully our luck will hold. Let's go. I think the longer we pause, the worse it is, so. Unless somebody has some other different idea, let's keep going.
Alright, so...
Also, I don't know if anybody knows, because sometimes I forget, and then I remember when I look at my features and stuff. Even if, we're traveling or whatever, I'm able to remain alert to danger. So,
I don't know what that
FYI.
means.
Even if I'm tracking or navigating or foraging, I remain alert to danger.
So
Are
kind
you
of like if
foraging?
someone's looking out when they're walking, but if they're making a map, they can't do two things at once. She can be alert and do a different skill.
Because I'm Fancy Ranger.
It was important in the Out of the Abyss narrative.
Okay, Are you
So I guess-
foraging, navigating, or tracking?
Not at the moment. I'm just remaining alert as we travel.
She's navigating forward.
All right. So this falls into the cool story.
Cag.
Whatever.
Cag.
Usually I am tracking, but I forget it all the time, so.
Okay, but yes, I totally forgot to, so it's important to know. So, you'll kind of get back to your feet now that Aerolith has ended her concentration and shared with you what she has discovered. And after your discussion, you continue striking up north. The Davi, you lose sight of the group way off to the west. And after another 30 minutes or so, you see another group, this time off to the northeast. But they just seem to be moving off southward, not really. If they know you're there, they have no interest in closing the distance. But given that you're the only one who really can detect them at this part, it's actually very unlikely that they know that where you are.
She'll point out every time she sees it just to
as
kind of make sure we have her away.
You go from seeing a small group every 30 minutes or so, to then every 20 minutes or so you see larger groups, 4 or 5 silhouettes on the horizon. And again, as you progress, more and more groups show up every 15 minutes now every 10 minutes, and they're closer. They're more. You can see several groups at a time now, and it's getting to the point where you can see now ahead of you several groups moving off in your direction.
Do we see signs of the island yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah.
Do your ability again. Yeah, let's.
Do we have a minute? Yeah, let's. I want to take a minute and try to determine which way we need to go to try to avoid these groups of things.
So, Davi, you continue watching the 3 groups ahead of you, kind of plow towards you.
While this is going on, I'm going to attempt to cast message under the mirror, as I know that the merfolk that we were speaking to is down there.
Okay.
I would like to attempt to warn her that there are numerous demons on the top side, and that we are proceeding carefully.
Didn't ask if anybody had this spell. Smack.
She can respond to the message, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, you can. He can't respond to that
wow.
message.
So she responds, I know. I told you the others would be ahead.
I'm going to cast it again, because it's a cantrip, so why not? Are these the guests of which you spoke?
They're not the most important ones, but there's some of them.
Then the Admiral is either in danger or a fool, and we will tell you which when we know.
Bold words from a guest.
Quite possibly.
Not even a guest. Slave. But they're true words.
There isn't a response. At this point, Davi, you do notice that the knocking stops.
Well, we lost our guide.
I may have pissed her off.
Well,
She was
What's
aware
your
that the
specialty?
she was aware the demons were here. The demons are the guests of the Admiral, if that sounds familiar to you.
yeah, it does sound familiar. It sounds a whole lot like the guests that the Sprite Queen had. But given what we know about Lear, he could have very well invited them here on his own.
Did not the Sprite Queen invite her own guests to her tournament?
No, I don't think she did.
I mean, they came as guests, and she thought they were interesting, and so she let them stay, but I don't know that she invited them, per se.
And you remember, Davi, that with the Sprite Queen, it was the orcs that she invited to stay. The demons were a surprise party crasher afterwards. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally work for the villain of this.
Well, I'm going to be up front with you right now, Rafferty. If Lear's behind this, he will be an enemy.
Well, I mean, if Lear is behind this, he's working. Who is he working against? Is the question. And I mean, is he working against the Autumn Queen? Is he working against Sprite Queen? Is he trying to take over the Unseelie? Is it?
Lear works for Lear.
Yeah, but he
Well-
still is under the Frost Queen's.
This
Not the Frost Sprite Queen, but the Queen of Air and
Aaron
Darkness.
Darkness, yeah.
Yeah.
this has obviously done bad things to our home.
I would encourage you to wait till you understand what's going on fully before you make assumptions.
I will, but I'm just saying. I want to be upfront with you.
It hardly matters to me.
Well, you're our friend, so we'll keep you safe as long as you stay on the right side of things. As best we can.
So,
Irilith is concentrating for a minute.
Yes, please.
And now the rest of the party can see the silhouetted creatures on the glass moving towards you. Irilith, you pick up quite a few groups, and the concentration is dense. Just at the northernmost point, just at the edge of your reach, you feel a sensation that's like a stab through the ribs. There's obviously something very much like what you felt at the
So that much, the same amount, like roughly the same amount is a huge amount, and
It's
something
not a-
bigger
it's-
than.
It's not a density, it's an intensity.
They didn't just cheat on their taxes and lie to their wife, okay? They're like,
There is some big nasties up there, and so do I kind of suss out the best sort of direction we should go to avoid?
Based on
Larger
the
group.
snapshot you have of the area, you have an idea of how you could trace. But given the distance between the groups, you understand very clearly that there's only so much you can avoid.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this is the best direction, but we are still likely to encounter. So, we need to be alert. How long have we been traveling?
You don't have a sun
you're past lunch.
to measure by, but yes, you have eaten your second meal of the day at this point.
Okay.
So,
Not
noon.
quite dinner, but getting later.
This is a bad situation. I don't like what we're going into. And also, we have no idea what kind of cover Lear's Island might actually provide.
So, as you're kind of introspecting, the rest of the group, since you're watching the groups ahead of you, you can actually see them kind of start to divert away. They can very clearly see you as well, but you can see that they're almost the center and western groups kick off to the west, and the eastern group kicks a little bit off to the east.
We're being allowed in. Either that or they're flanking us.
Why not both?
I am really uneasy about this, but
You and me both.
You better hope that your trump card for this whole Lear situation comes through, because if he is in league with these and he gets the pouch,
yeah, I'm not sure. But, I mean, I feel confident that I will be fine. I'm concerned. I don't necessarily want everybody to. Really don't want everybody to go in here.
I'm going.
But I know you have to go, and unfortunately, we have to go as well then.
Well, there's not much way other than going forward at this point,
Yeah.
I think.
No, there's not. And so, I mean, I want to try to avoid as much interaction with these things as we can. But if it does seem that they're letting us in, then, or making way for us to come through, either they already knew we were coming, or they have no reason to. They have no reason to fear us, which means they understand that they have the upper hand.
Obviously, they have the upper hand.
Their numbers, yeah, it's huge numbers.
Well, if we're going regardless, then Rafferty's going to start walking north.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going that way.
We have to.
I feel like Leo would vote no on this.
I'm Earless is gonna
here.
kind of lead them in the direction that, you know, towards where we think the island is, but, you know, keeping us from, you know, encountering some of the larger groups of those.
So Irilith takes a place up front, and based on again the snapshot of locations that she has, starts leading you through what might be the clearest areas of the glass.
Davi's going to spend her time tracking any of the groups that they see until they're out of sight, just to make sure they're not, like, immediately planning to attack or anything. I mean, just trying to keep us from being surprised.
So
Yeah, and Earless is gonna be keeping an eye out too, of course, always.
Well, you're focused on trying to avoid them, so.
Yeah, but I'll still be keeping alert around.
she can't be surprised. She said so. So you continue on, and the groups just pass you by. Actually, the group that was directly in front of you previously, you can see now that it's kind of an interesting assortment of creatures. Some have feathered wings and birds' feet, and they plod by. And again, as you continue northward, they're certainly becoming more dense. And the groups, unless you stop, seem to be getting closer and closer, but they just out and out ignore your presence. And in the times that they are walking directly towards you, they kind of arc away from you, giving you, at the closest point, they're 200 feet away or so.
Trying to stay out of range of my Eldritch Blast because they fear me.
Wait, so they're flat out ignoring us? Like they don't show any kind of recognition that they see us, even though they should clearly be able to?
They look over at you periodically, just a variety of them, but they don't make any kind of outward gesture. Or it's usually a look over, obviously internal acknowledgement of, there is another group there, and they return to walking off and whatever.
Okay,
direction
so
they're walking in.
they actually, so they see us.
Yes.
It's not as if they don't see us. They're
Right.
actively ignoring us.
Yes.
I don't like this, y'all.
Oh, this is worse than I thought.
So, as you continue walking, you actually start to make out a dark shadow north of you. As you walk, you can kind of see the silhouette of an island rising up out of the distance. And while this would be certainly epic in its own right, all of a sudden, the lot of you hear an eardrum shattering boom. And after a long moment, there is a crash of what can only sound like an entire cabinet full of crystal. It's another long pause, and if you continue walking forward, which I presume you do, or you stop.
No, we're gonna run
No,
towards
no,
land.
No,
Stop.
we
I
run
said it
towards
right.
the
I do
island.
not want to be standing on this stupid thing.
We need to run.
So, as you move forward, you actually see the outline of two ships stuck in the glass, and then another boom, and you hear the shattering of the ship, one of the ship's hulls, as a cannonball crashes through the prow.
Do you recognize either of those ships, Rafferty?
I don't know. Do I, DM?
They look like ships.
Those are boats.
So they're not Lears?
Listen. I wouldn't know. Are they gaudy? Do any of them have unnecessary ornamentation? Are there live, maybe virgins tied to any of the masts?
You're a bit far from it to discern any details.
I would like to question the virgins, if at all possible.
On the next episode. So I presume you're continuing to walk.
We're walking with purpose.
It's
Power walk.
north. The ships are northwest of you, and the island that is coming over the horizon is directly north. So you continue walking there, and you continue to hear the booming sounds as these ships are exchanging volleys, despite being trapped in the glass beside each other. At one point, you actually watch a cannonball skip across the glass a ways and roll to a stop.
Do we see any markings on the ships that would indicate, like, the quartz or anything that we'd recognize? Or
So now that you're closer, you can actually see that the ships are they are on the ostentatious side. They're faced opposed from one another, and the ship's prow that is facing you has a giant skeleton carved out of the prow. It is very detailed, and there are two massive rubies in the eye sockets.
we can't
kind
tell
of
anything about
skeleton?
the other ship?
What kind of skeleton? Skeleton of what?
It's humanoid.
I mean, can we tell, like, what kind of creature it was,
I mean,
or
it was once a giant tree because it's carved out of wood.
I mean, what is the? I'm like, can we tell what the skeleton is supposed to be of? Is it like a human, or is it Fey, an Eldrin? I mean, can we tell?
Could you? So, if you saw a skeleton for all three of those things, could you tell then?
Well, I don't know. I guess I would have to roll a nature check.
It's definitely not like dragonkin. You know, it does strike you as like humanoid of some sort, but I don't think that you could make out. I mean,
Okay.
I think it'd be an anatomy check. How many of these creatures have you dissected? You know, but it's definitely a humanoid like skeleton.
What about the other ship?
You can only see the back of the ship, but the sails are a very deep purple. You can't quite make out the embroidery on it. You hear another boom, and you can actually see one of the cannonballs pass clear through the ship, taking splinters and planks of wood out with it.
Which ship? The purple or the skeleton?
The purple ship facing away from you is the one that has sustained the damage here.
Purple, like gaudy purple with gold trim.
No gold trim, but definitely purple.
What's Lear's color? Is it purple?
Do we know?
I assume I would know this.
It's hard when you've seen him. He's always dressed very ostentatiously, very finely, but you haven't noticed necessarily a consistent color or like any kind of banner or badge or anything like that.
So is there water that these ships, or are they down in ice, or down in the mirrored, or?
God.
Wait, I missed the question, guys. You haven't cast
He was
it
playing
by
with your daughter.
You're disrupting things, child.
I missed the question, I'm sorry.
You're distracting
I
Tag, which is not hard to do.
Squirrel.
No screens
Now
tomorrow.
I've lost
Go
track
bed.
of my question.
Oh no.
If they were in the...
Are they in the water?
Yes, are they in the water, or?
I mean, they are submerged, but the glass is up to the holes. They are definitely stuck half in the glass.
Go away.
Okay.
Aside from the places where
Stop.
cannonballs have crashed through the glass around them.
Alrighty. Love you, sweetie. Night night. I mean, if one of those is Lear's ship, I kind of feel like we should get a little bit closer and try to see. But I don't want to get in the middle of those cannonballs.
Go to bed. Say goodnight to
So,
them.
Good night.
Okay, now go away.
Goodbye.
Darby will divert to try to see if she can pick out any more details from those ships.
You are also able to see the island at this point. North
Sure.
of you too, so.
Okay. So, I mean, we'll try to kind of generally head towards the island and not get between the ships, but try to get a little bit, skirt a little bit towards them just to try to see if we can pick out any more detail.
So you continue northward, and you actually can get fairly close, but at a safe distance to the ships to kind of pick out that there are folks swinging with ropes across to jump to each other's decks. And as you get even closer, you can hear the clashing of steel.
Can we see any of the people doing it? Are they Eldrin, or are they?
At the
Like-
distance that you're at, it's hard to pick out a particular race. They're definitely humanoid. There's no wings. Both sides are humanoid in shape.
And they're not flying any colors, like their flags?
The one ship with the skull carved out of the prow has black sails. There's no symbol or anything on it. And the other ship is purple sails without any symbology either.
I'm guessing that one with the black sails belongs to Admiral.
I don't know. I feel like he would have like an ostentatious symbol, like a giant rooster.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
kind
that's
of
a
wondering if
pretty big. I mean, the prow of that ship is pretty detailed. And
Rafferty, try to see if you can reach out to him. If you get any.
I
good-
mentally reach out and say, "We're close. I have the bag."
Nothing.
oh, jeez.
Couldn't even get a come hither. Man, he's
I gotta think he's in trouble, because otherwise it seems like he would try to say something to you. So I think we don't want to be seen by any of these.
But at the same time, it is very off-putting that he's not saying something, which is making me uncomfortable. And making me uncomfortable is that man being strongest power. Okay,
I don't like it. We are walking into a trap. We should never have come.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we need to head on towards the land and just see. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
we'll pick up some more detail as we get closer.
So you continue walking, and now the ships are off to your west. You can actually see just a couple hundred feet away where a collection of cannonballs have gathered, just resting on the glass with, various cracks around them have been accrued from the impact. The sounds of
What did the
battle.
mermaids say this had been going on?
What's
She
that?
said quite a while.
Quite a while. Time's a little weird here.
So, I mean, does it look like this battle has been going on quite a while? Or, I mean, because
So-
if they're throwing cannonballs at each other, it can't have been going on quite a while because they'd be destroyed.
So looking back through them, you can actually see through the hull in several places where cannonballs have ripped through. But this looks like a battle that's been going on for something on the scale of maybe hours.
So something
we
has
should avoid those.
changed recently. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we still head on towards land.
That's all we can do.
Okay.
So, the closer you guys get towards the island on the horizon, the denser and denser these demonic hordes become. Each of them, as you guys continue to move closer, seems to kind of pause and notice you, and they kind of part from one side to one side of the other, leaving you a clear wake to guide you forward towards the island. They're giving you a pretty wide girth, easily 50
Berth,
plus
berth.
berth.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. Giving you 50 plus feet on either side.
No, Rafferty gets a wide girth. Don't worry.
Look at you putting on weight there, Rafferty.
Then about 200
I love that.
Honey's
Honey's
so
still
pure.
went with the not worst interpretation.
Honey is so pure, and I love it.
Then about 200 feet or so from the shoreline, the incursion of demons stops very suddenly, and you're able to notice this, Eurolith, before you even get there. You're going, and then that dense feeling that you felt in the distance, you can feel it beyond here, but there's this line where these other radar pinpoints of demons just stop.
Huh. That's weird.
What?
The demons just stop.
On the island?
Mission accomplished.
But there's still What do I
I'm
see
going
on
that
the
way.
island?
Which way?
We're not going to make sense of this. We're going to keep going.
Yeah,
Because
we
it's
have to keep
11.
going. There's not anything else that we can do about it. We gotta go.
I want to go where there's no demons. Thank you.
Okay.
Under the mirror would have been where that was. But
As you guys break through this wall, where whatever this barrier is that the demons seem to be staying on one side of, you now have a very clear view towards the island in the distance. What you notice first is that the shoreline has been lined with dozens of tall torches that kind of give off this flicker of the jungle scene that's up ahead of you. As you get closer, you see that this kind of makeshift canopy has been set up. There have been 4 posts that have kind of pushed into the sand, and there's this draping gossamer fabric that's going across them, creating this gentle shade. And underneath it are 2 figures. Rafferty, you immediately recognize the one on the right. It is unmistakably Lear. He is in full recline across a chaise. A blue eladrin is delivering some plump fruits into his mouth. But to his left is sitting a different figure, slouched in an ornate throne with one leg kicked up over the side. And Eurolith, this is the center of that nauseating feeling that has been emanating for you.
So the throne that this creature sits on is massive, and you can see even at the distance that you're at, and even with the creature sitting, he is incredibly tall. He would easily dwarf anyone in this party.
I'm gonna.
It's Sargeras.
Fearless sort of falters and it's like, can I sense that from here? The intensity that I felt, because you said it was nauseating, so she's gonna retch a bit. It's not gonna be.
It is powerful.
This is not good, and she's gonna say, like, under her breath.
I'm not
as
even sure
quiet
this is the worst thing I've ever caught him doing yet. So let's.
So, everyone can see the admiral now.
I'm
That's
one.
clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Let's tab. Yeah.
So the creature you see sitting on the massive throne is clearly humanoid. He has short, cropped black hair, and he has and just peeking out the tops of the hair.
Please be whatever's on the other side of the throne, or of the crown. That would be so wonderful.
There are a series of short white horns peeking out from below his hair. His face is perfectly chiseled and absolutely emotionless. Two piercing blue eyes measure you all as you move up to this gossamer covered area of relaxation, which is how it is decorated. In one hand, he lazily cups a goblet filled with some liquid that you probably couldn't identify. And
Probably wouldn't want to identify.
the heel of his other hand rests at the hilt of a sword that juts out from the sand beside him. The sword is, we'll call it, devilishly curved and wicked looking. And as I describe this to you, imagine that you're unable to take in this creature's visage all at once. You kind of have to force yourself to look at him. The sheer power of his presence is overwhelming and forces you to uncomfortably look at the ground, look to the side. Especially you, Irilith. There's a particular queasiness that comes over you if you try to look at him too long. And none of you are able to look at his eyes. But at the same time, you know his eyes are this piercing blue, and you can't figure out how you know the color of his eyes because you've never seen them.
Well, this looks entertaining.
As you guys move closer, the reclining Lear holds out his hand. Another Eldrin comes over and gives him a napkin, and he takes his hand and kisses the back of it before taking the napkin and dabbing at his lips lightly. And he kind of pushes himself up and gets to his feet and begins sauntering out onto the glass to meet you. At last.
Rafferty is gonna reach back into his pack and pull out the pouch and hold it out in his hand.
It has been quite some time, but finally, our honored guests have arrived. How was your journey? Not too boring, I hope.
I wouldn't call it boring, no.
Yeah.
Tell me, did you send the Cyrene or merfolk to watch us?
Which one?
The one that trailed us for a while beneath the glass.
Oh, I haven't spoken to them in quite some time. No. Did you catch her name?
She didn't give
She
it, and I
didn't
thought
give
it
it.
imprudent to ask. But she did say she missed you.
Oh, they are very dear. I'll have to get in touch with them soon. At any rate, you're all doing fairly well.
We're here.
Good, good. I've been expecting you for quite some time. Took a bit longer than we anticipated. Supper has gotten a bit cold, but I'm sure we can do something about that and warm it up.
Are you familiar with my companions?
Vaguely. Please introduce them for me.
Jacobus, the hair on the back of your neck is all standing up, and you have goosebumps up and down your arm. You realize that this creature has his eyes locked on you, and is not paying attention to anyone else in the group.
Davi's gonna glare at Rafferty.
Pretty sure I
Follow
know why.
If you dip my name, I will kick you and beat you.
Davi, he has your name already. Sorry.
I have spoken to the Sprite Queen on Rafferty's behalf. I see that we have a go-between now. We are no longer in direct contact.
This is Davi. You may recall her from your lake.
He places one hand behind his back and holds out his other in an effort to take her hand. Very well, very well.
You can be polite, Davi. I mean, he's awful, but, he's polite. Don't mind her. Don't mind her. She's a good person, unlike you and I.
I mean, I'm sure that their view of me has been colored by all of your colorful interpretations, so I don't blame her. Give her time. She'll see.
This is Yearlith. You may know something of her. There's an arrowhead of hers in that pouch, though I do not believe you'll be able to claim her.
An arrowhead of hers? And how did you come to possess this exactly?
Thievery.
From your own party member. Interesting choice. Bold choice, Rafferty. Please continue.
Yeah, well, drowning in my sleep was getting old. This is Leo. If you have good wine and gold, he won't cause you any trouble.
I have plenty of both of those here.
Got you covered, Leo. And this is Jacobus. Probably the most dangerous person among us, I'd suppose.
Well, it depends. Are we talking about intentionally dangerous or haphazard accidents like you seem to always cause?
About that. Intentionally dangerous. He's very skilled.
Very well. Well, I look forward to having his skills on my island then. I know you've been traveling for quite some time. Would you like a chance to freshen up before we eat and get down to business then?
Davi, would you like time to rest?
No, I'd like to get this over with.
She's very direct.
Well, if you would like to head on to the dining hall then, I will gladly meet you there.
Will you be taking the pouch with you now, or should I hold on to it longer?
We can discuss business over dinner.
Oh.
Alright. Don't be alarmed then. I'm going to send you up to the house where we can eat.
Very well. And thank you for your
Discuss
hospitality.
and perhaps clarify a few matters. Alright? No one panic? Are you ready?
Yes.
And with that, there's a flash of blue light, and you all vanish, and find yourselves instead of on the jungly beach in a courtyard.
So,
Am I chained up or otherwise restrained now?
No. But one thing you do notice immediately upon entry is that whereas before it was kind of like dusk with the sun low in the west, it appears to be noon here.
Time's funky.
so
It appears to be noon.
Yes. The sun has changed positions in the sky just instantly, significantly brighter than where you were previously standing.
Why are we no longer port?
So, as you blink away the change in lighting, you look around and you see just the most perfectly manicured hedge garden around you. There are several fountains and bird baths and benches and flowering plants all scattered about you. Beside you, Jacobus, you notice that one of the fountains that's beside you is actually glass. or the liquid inside that was once there is now glass. So there's nothing flowing from it as you would expect. After a moment of kind of trying to take in your bearings, you can you hear this thumping sound that wandering towards you, and coming around a corner is an absolute caricature of what you can only imagine is a grizzled sailor. He has an obvious peg leg and a
2 peg legs, an eye patch, and missing an ear.
He has a peg leg and a hook. And he kind of eyes over the group and goes, well, you're not the oddest group I've had to take care of.
Have you ever had troubles with an alligator?
What are your thoughts on clocks?
This is I take it back. You are the oddest group I've had to take care of.
Sound a little bit like a goat I once knew.
Well then, shall I take you to your rooms or straight to the dining hall? You all look rather unkempt to be sitting with the Admiral.
Prestidigitation, I look totally kempt now.
Well, I suppose that does something for how you look, if not for how you smell.
No, prestidigitation takes care of smell too.
You could prestidigitate all of us, Rafferty.
Could, yes.
That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? So that we are presentable for your master.
I think the goal is for you not to be presentable, Yurlith.
Yeah, Davi will totally avoid Rafferty. You will not touch me with that.
You seem extra mad at me today.
So
There is nothing about being here that I'm happy about.
I get that. And please understand that I am being courteous in a way that I hope makes this easier for all of us.
listen,
You and Yurlith included.
I'm all about
That son of a-
accommodating your lover's quarrel here, but do you want to go to your rooms or straight to the dining room?
Davy, I'll
Dining room.
defer to you. To the dining room. Do you want to allow me time to clean everyone up just
He
a bit?
immediately turns and starts walking away through the garden.
Davi will immediately follow him.
Yeah, okay. I'm following Davi.
So
It says here prestidigitate can do flavor something, so prestidigitate Earlith to taste like rotisserie chicken.
she smells fabulous, fresh out of the oven.
Why does
it's
everything
actually-
taste like chicken?
It's almost
I
like a
think
lemon
it's-
herb.
Gotcha, Earlith.
Lemon herb, seriously?
So as you walk out from behind these massive oak trees in front of you, you can see this towering mansion before you, and this
Dogs so weird.
this individual moves off at not a very quick pace, but moving at what is a surprisingly quick pace for him.
It's a spring-loaded peg leg.
Yes. So a little like the spring attachment things. He eventually leads you into these massive double doors, and when you look around, you realize that you're essentially inside a massive museum. When you walk along, there are collections of things.
So I'm going to play the game we always play when we go to any place with antiques. How many naked people or representations of naked people do we see in the artwork collected here?
So actually, the first collection you pass as you enter the door is actually a series of spoons of different shapes and make and materials. Some bejeweled, some actually glowing in some kind of with some kind of enchantment. Others that are plain and wrought. Some that are barely any remains of the spoon itself, but was once clearly a spoon. As you walk on, you pass these open cages of creatures that you can't even begin to describe. Things with 6 tails and 3 heads wandering about freely inside their cages. But you continue on for what seems like 30-40 minutes following after this sailor, seeing all sorts of wondrous things, until eventually you arrive at another set of rather plain-looking double wooden doors that are actually surprisingly short for the building. The tallest of you would have to duck through to get through them.
Oh, that would be me. I don't think any of them are as tall as me.
So as the sailor pushes in, the doors open, and it leads you into what is unmistakably the captain's quarters at the prow of a ship, complete with the smell and the sounds of the ocean. It is just a completely different setting than the ostentatious hall you were previously in. The boards look worn. They've obviously taken on some water at some point. The floor beneath your feet actually shifts slightly to the left and right as though you were drifting upon the waves, being rocked. The room has a long wood dining table in the middle that has this glistening aqua tablecloth placed upon it. Golden dishes are piled high with a wide variety of tropical fruits, meats, bread, sausages, all sorts of things. A big platter of stew in the middle.
King's Hawaiian sweet rolls?
Yes.
Yes.
The table is set to fit 20 people, but the room is only occupied by you, the Admiral, and the sailor who just let you in. The Admiral sits at the head of the table with a tall back throne. To his right sits an identical throne that is unoccupied, and to his left is a smaller throne that the sailor makes his way over to sit in. The rest of the seats are still pretty nice cushioned chairs, but not as ostentatiously important as his. And he kind of straightens himself a little bit. Oh, that was faster than I anticipated.
Well, dwarf in a hurry, so...
Right. Well, please sit.
Rafferty will bow politely, kind of covertly check the chair for tacks or whoopee cushions.
And it seems
Whoopee
fine.
cushions.
And then I will sit down. All right.
The Admiral watches you in particular, Davi.
Davi will move over next to a chair, but she'll just stand.
It seems...
Don't be rude. There's no reason to be rude. You can be belligerent without being rude.
I know this may come as a shock to you. I mean, look, really it won't. You've been traveling with them for some time. Rafferty tends to misrepresent certain individuals and events in his life. Perhaps we could take this time to get to know each other a little better.
Well, why don't we start by finding out why you're making deals with demons that are destroying the rest of the worlds?
Making deals. That is a bit presumptuous, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you look pretty friendly terms to me.
How about we begin with, why are you so angry?
Because my home is
Might be my bad.
destroyed by those son of a bitch assholes that you were sitting next to, being friendly with.
Actually, the prince hasn't destroyed anything, but that's neither here nor there. That's his business to discuss with you, and it appears that he was a bit busy tonight. I asked if he would be joining us. He says not quite yet. But I believe there were other things we wanted to discuss as well, correct?
Nice catch, dog.
Yeah.
Oh. And
No take,
I'm
only
here.
throw.
Sorry, I'm distracting the player.
I mean, you. I don't understand.
Dobby, I think you might find that we have more in common than perhaps you're comfortable with. You have a quality that I highly admire in people. Loyalty.
I'm about to
that
get
is
killed, guys. It's gonna be really.
seemingly lacking in other individuals in this room. I admire you for that, Dobby, for how forthcoming and genuine you are. I think you might find we get along better than you anticipate.
The only reason I'm here is because of loyalty.
All of your loyalty, certainly. Look at where it's taken you. I wouldn't put too much weight in what Rafferty has said at this point. Any resemblance between he and a competent individual is purely incidental.
Dobby finds it really hard not to just grin at that.
You could laugh at
You
that.
can
It's
just
completely
see the little
fine.
smile kind of twitching up at the corner of her mouth.
I thought perhaps a dinner might be a nice way for us to get to know each other a little bit more. I'm not sure what you've heard from the others at the court. I tend not to be their favorite.
Well, from what we've heard, you are in pretty good with the Queen of Air and Darkness.
She does favor me. That is certainly true.
First things first. I need to know that Earlith is not going to end up in whatever schemes or plans you have, because her arrowhead's in that bag.
That was a bold choice, wasn't it? He looks to Yerlith. Do you want to play my games?
Not particularly.
There you go.
Okay. That seems entirely too easy given our experiences so far
It does,
in the
doesn't
Feywild.
It does, doesn't it? It's almost as though you've been in the company of an unreliable narrator. But surely that couldn't be it.
Can she have her arrowhead back?
Sure. And he offers out his hand for the bag from Rafferty.
I gladly hand him the bag and then pull my hand back away from that effing bag as fast as.
He kind of plays his cheek, board in his hand, and shakes it out onto the plate and kind of shifts them around and looks at the different trinkets. Arrowhead. I don't have an arrowhead here. And he takes the plate and passes it over to Davi for her to inspect.
Oh, don't be playing that bullshit.
She'll look at it, but she won't touch it.
That's fantastic.
There's no, from what you can see, there doesn't appear to be an arrowhead in the vial.
That's different.
So
Rafferty's gonna have just like a look on his face that is both terrified and awe-inspired, because that is a master
Oaths
troll.
have meaning here. So will you swear that Earless is free of any influence or machinations that you might have, or control over her that you might have?
That is a very vast and vague question you asked me. I can tell you this. Everyone on this island is here of their own free will. That I will in no way hold her here. And I hold no one in my servitude who doesn't wish to be here. But as far as not being under my influence, this entire island is my influence. It is my realm. This ship, it is my influence. It is my illusion, my world to create. So I can't make such a vast promise, but I can guarantee you that I don't feel that life is worth living if you're thrust into bondage. Those who are here, who have made deals with me, have chosen to be here. I'm not in the habit of trying to trick someone into it. Rafferty here was seeking power, and I gave him that. Unfortunately.
No arguments there. So Earlith is completely under her own free will, at least from your point of view.
As far as I can tell, I mean, I have no sway over her. And he reaches over and picks up one of the trinkets and goes, nor will I pull any of these without their free choice either.
Okay.
Do any of you have any interesting talents or skills? Do you juggle?
Do we juggle?
Do you juggle?
I do not juggle.
That's unfortunate.
I'm sure that you could convince Rafferty to juggle. It might be amusing if he's not good at it.
Speaking of which, I believe you came here with the purpose of that end, correct, Rafferty? Are you finally ready to speak for yourself, or are you going to find somebody else to speak on your behalf as you try to break our deal?
I tried to negotiate a better deal. I thought you might respect that.
Well, it is my understanding, through the Frostbite Queen, who you sent to do your battle for you, that you would like to end our arrangement.
Perhaps we could speak in private.
Now, why would we need to do something like that, Rafferty?
Feels like
What do you
a
think?
bad
I would like to open this up
idea.
to the party. Should we speak in private, or would you like to be involved in this negotiation? He seems to drag you
Oh
into
no,
it anyway.
I'd like to hear.
Oh, Davi says she would like to hear. It'd be rude of me not to include her, Rafferty.
Davi will move over next to Earlith, and if Earlith sits, Davi will sit, but otherwise she won't.
I do like you, Davi. People say I have horrible taste, but I do like you.
I will, because I'm now interested in this whole conversation now too.
So tell me, Raffi, what sort of deal were you hoping to negotiate?
Oh, better duties for one.
Such as? You come to the table with negotiation, you have to offer something, Rafferty.
Well, I believe that in the terms of actually fulfilling our deal, I have done well.
It's debatable.
Did you
But
not
not a-
hear the man? He appreciates loyalty.
He appreciates loyalty, but he understands the deal, Davy.
So you want out of our arrangement, is my understanding.
I want to either exit our arrangement or secure a firmer footing in it.
So you
You
want
know,
out of our
not
arrangement.
damp footing, and he lifts up his leg across it, and water is still just pouring out of his boot.
I
You were
particularly
brought here.
enjoy that one.
You were brought here by me with one purpose, Rafferty. In fact, I had you along the coast, but you decided to take a scenic route. I had to give you a little reminder of where you were supposed to be headed.
Yes, well, as you so encourage loyalty, understand that I had to convince the present party to come. Not by force, by convincing them.
Well,
And it took some doing.
To be fair to my loyalty thing, our relationship is a little different, a little more strained than the ones I normally arrange, but that's not a matter for now. You say that you'd like to either secure better terms or else end our arrangement, and from our past experience, I think that I am more interested in the latter. I would be willing to free you of your bonds in exchange for a final request.
Do I get to know what the request is before I accept it?
You certainly do, Rafferty. Would you like to hear it?
I'll hear the request.
There is a young girl who's been staying with me for some time. As with all, let me clarify, she is no prisoner. She was brought here as a ward for me to protect by someone else. She's been staying in my castle, treated kindly, a room built to fit her needs suit her, as each of yours have been. She's been free to travel and come and go on the island as she wishes, and I haven't seen her in quite some time. She doesn't have to return. Everyone is welcome to their own adventure, their own fun, their own free will while they're here. But I do need to know that she is safe. I can't find her. She seems to be avoiding me. If you can find her and ensure me that she is doing well, that she is with those who are looking after her, that she's not in any sort of danger, then I will consider your service to me complete.
What if she is in danger?
Well, then I suppose that I am the one who is oath-bound to protect her and save her. To which end it might interest you, since I am coming at this off foot from what you've learned of me in the past, I am oath-bound to protect her and not harm her.
Certainly something I can do. And so your preference is to end the arrangement, and you cannot see a way to better
by the
terms.
gods, my preference is to end our arrangement.
Wow. Even he doesn't like you.
Technically, you were in my service for the time, but so are sea slugs. There are things, there's a scale here, Rafferty, and I would love to allow you to return to your Frostbite Queen or whoever it is that will lend you their ear from now on.
Oh, you took it personally, guys.
Well, that didn't.
I'm sorry, did you expect me to put up a fight? Did you expect me to just beg for him to stay at my service? I don't know if you've seen the way our relationship has gone so far, but this is a bet I will never make again.
If I may,
Will you
can I ask
repair
a
my
question?
feet first?
I
He
swear
looks
I
snobby.
liked.
What is your question?
What's Davi's question?
What is the nature of your relationship with all of this that's going on in the Feywild? Did you invite these people here?
No, certainly not. The prince came to me.
Is he the one that opened the portals and enslaved the Sprite Queen?
I'm afraid I don't know very much about that beyond what she's told me. You have to understand that most of the individuals in the Autumn Court don't trust me, likely because I do have the ear of the Queen of Air and Darkness, and they just have different priorities, one might say. They're very caught up in their little world, in their little war. I'm very caught up in mine. It's a whole big political thing that frankly isn't that interesting. As far as what's going on there, I know a bit, but that is the prince's business to discuss with you. He actually was very interested in meeting you. He thinks that you might be useful to each other.
So I have a question. This is out of character, not Jacobus. Sorry. I know who the prince is, but I'm wondering if Jacobus does. I know there's been a couple of references to him in some of the books that he read, but
Given how much you've read, I think you certainly would.
okay.
Would Earless in her study of fiends have come across any information about him?
I don't remember how much Earlith read when they were...
Well, I mean, theoretically, the favored enemy thing is, they spend time studying, but that whole time that we were stuck in the house, Earless was reading too. She just was doing it sort of quietly.
Okay.
And she wasn't talking to the others about it necessarily.
I mean, between running into the fiends on the way here and the seeing him on the beach, I think so, God. What do you think?
Sure.
Sure. You totes know. Now, as far as my relationship
Wait,
to
but,
us...
does Leah know out of character? Because I don't know, we may need to tell her.
No, Leah doesn't know anything out of character. So, I mean, I'm just curious how much she... I mean, even if it's just a little bit, just kind of... Does she have some idea of
Based
the
on
scope of...
the way he looks and the sword is another indication. The individual you saw on the beach was Grazit.
Grazit?
Yes.
Dark Prince.
Oh, no.
Now, as far as my relationship goes, I mean, that's not exactly something we should discuss over polite dinner, is it? But if you'd like more details later, Davia will gladly fill you in. He's certainly one of my most
Be careful
exciting
if you
guests.
allow him to fill you in, because
Thank you, but I'm quite content in my current relationship.
So, is what's going on here in the Feywild related to what's going on in the Primaterial Plane? I think you're a pretty savvy guy. I have a feeling you know.
I am under the impression, from what I've heard, that there is a tether. I mean, for one, I do know certainly that there's a tether between the Feywild and the Prime Material Plane. One of the reasons I love this island is because of how thin the veil is. It's a very easy place to bring over people looking for a bit of adventure. But yes, I am under the impression that what is happening here is mirrored to an extent with the Prime Material Plane. These are truly questions for the prince, though. I know bits and pieces, but he's the one that's really going to be able to fill you in. I, on the other hand, may misspeak.
I understand that. However, this is your home too.
Correct.
So, what's going on is really upsetting the balance of power here.
Correct.
Do you seek to gain from that?
Gain power. I'm pretty content with my little corner of the world. It's a perfect paradise. Wait until you see it.
does Renestray stay with you here?
God, no. No, she's much more fond of playing the political games in the court. I'm not sure she's ever even come. I can't remember the last time I saw her. Regardless, is she still alive?
Yeah,
Last we
we
checked.
saw her.
Good for her.
She's your wife, right?
It's a political marriage.
It's a term that's been used to describe our relationship, not the one I prefer, but it's what some say.
Is any of this related to anything that happened in the Underdark?
I'm not sure that I know what you mean.
It was just a question. I'm not entirely sure yet either, but
Do you mean the
just
Fey
starting
Dark?
to wonder. No,
No.
the Primaterial Plains, Virgil.
I'm not much interested in that. There isn't a lot of seafaring individuals from down there. Tried to lure to draw once. They were not too happy to be above ground in the sun for so long.
So what do you seek out of all this?
Do you mean
If you're
life?
happy here, I mean, I can't see what is going on here as being good for the Feywild.
What do you mean by here? Do you mean on my island?
No, I'm talking about the Feywild, the bigger picture. There's demons and orcs everywhere.
But not here.
Not.
They're not allowed on the island by your will, I take it.
Correct. My will is respected.
Not
by my
completely
guests.
useless, right? It's like,
No, I'm not as interested in that. It'll work out. I'm under the impression that you already are having a hand in helping it to work out. No, what I seek is what I always seek. Fun, adventure, challenge, a thrill. I'm getting plenty of that at the moment.
yes, and torturing me is always on the list.
Well, I
We all
can't
have our
blame him there.
regrets. It seems that you are quite interested in answers.
Well, it's been a very strange time,
No, I understand.
and it's not exactly been good.
Yes, yes. When you're here for such a short time, I imagine that these dark times seem eternal and as though they'll never pass, but you have to have a bit of adventure in your life. But truly, I think the prince will be able to answer more of your questions, and I suppose he wasn't anticipating you tonight. You know, we weren't really sure when you would be coming. I'll see if he'll be joining us for dinner tomorrow.
Can you tell us more about the girl you want Rafferty to find? Because I presume that we'll be helping him.
Yes. She is a young girl. Oh, how old is she now? She was such a babe when she came here. Young baby, not babe. She's in her youth still. Her hair is red. She has green leaves in it, I think. Are they green? I believe they're green. I don't see her that much. She's never really been one for my company. And she changes so quickly. She has a room. I can give you the key to her room so that you can go in and perhaps you can learn more about her there. But and he looks over to Hector. What do you know about her? What was her name again? Was it Tabitha, Tara, Terse?
This banana bread, by the way, peanut butter
Cat
and
doesn't remember
chocolate chip
it.
banana bread.
That shit's not in the notes.
Make one up, Cag. Do it live.
Ghostbusters.
What the fuck?
Teresa.
Talia. There you go, Cag.
At least,
Talia.
like, ping me before, like,
I made up a name for you on the
like,
fly.
something. Hold on.
Talia.
Tara's good.
Jesus.
I like how he has no name, and Cassius went through and discarded a whole bunch of them, like, easily accessible ones.
Yes.
These are not good. We're gonna put those to the side. You make up a different name.
Talia. Taryn.
Jesus.
Just say one. Just agree to
Oh
one.
my god, just make up a T name.
Tara,
Taliba.
that was it.
Artemisia.
That
The
doesn't sound
Ghostbuster.
anything like what I thought.
The T silent.
We're going to call her Tara. Hector, what can you tell them about her?
Well,
She liked you more than she liked me.
to be fair, I did have a fairly large hand in raising her.
You are charming too.
I don't know that I can call myself charming.
You're one of my favorites. How old is she now?
I suppose she's at least 30. As long as I've been here.
Has it really been that long since she came?
It's been quite a while.
Well, I mean, depending on what race she is, that could be young or that could be old. It just depends. That's pretty damn young as far as a dwarf goes.
Yes, well, she's a curious amalgamation, one might say.
Is any of this ringing? Would any of this make us recall the story of the kidnapped Summer Fae?
I don't know that that's a question for a DM.
It is a question for the DM.
I think that's a question for the
It
player.
feels like you just recalled it, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, but is the description of her, or
So the kidnapped baby, you did not get any. Who even saw that vision?
it wasn't a
Ka?
vision.
It
was a
traded a
vision.
memory.
It was
Cog traded a memory. Cog did not describe. He knew that the dryad was carrying a baby. There wasn't really a description of the baby. Any good
No, it's just a
sign of
description
it.
of the dryads carrying it, I believe.
Yeah, the baby is like all swaddled in cloth and kind of hidden. So
Okay, so
How did you end up swearing an oath to protect this child?
that is a little tricky. I also am not at liberty to say too much, but I, too, have obligations to fulfill.
Can you tell who you swore the oath to?
Someone I don't want to piss off.
Well, I wouldn't want to piss the queen off either.
That's a bold strategy, Davi.
Hector, is she nice?
Oh, she's very warm.
Does she still play with daggers?
Only when you're around, sir.
Well. Can she juggle them yet?
No, we haven't found anyone that's been able to juggle.
Damn it!
It's not a popular skill.
Maybe one of these will be able to. He starts playing with trinkets again. Anyway, tell them what you know about her. Tell them where they might. Where does she like to? Does she frequent taverns? I don't know. All those sorts of questions.
Can I just learn to juggle?
250 days of training, 8 hours a day, 5 gold a day.
I mean, it's not a skill you can
it
buy,
it sounds like the key to promotion on this island.
but dexterity is, a good skill to have, I would think.
So she didn't really ascribe to any particular faction down in the city. She just kind of floated around between them. She took after the admiral here. Works well with a lot of different people. But
That's a way to put it.
beyond that, she wasn't one to disappear for long periods of time. So it is. I do have to say, I am a bit concerned about her disappearance.
How long has she been gone?
Let's say a month now.
When
Longest
did
I've
the
ever
demons
seen.
appear?
It's been a long time.
2 months. I don't fucking know.
I'm just trying to figure out if there was a connection.
Yeah, I get you. Probably somewhere around the time when you guys came to the Feywild, however long ago that was.
Oh, jeez.
No,
What
it
does
would have been
time
a little bit
even mean?
before that. Yeah, I don't know.
A long time. 3 months. 4 months.
And she's lived with you since she was a baby?
Yeah.
Small little thing, wailed all the time. Had to put her way down the hall so I couldn't hear her. Thankfully, Hector's wonderful with children. Who knew?
We all have our talents.
Were you asked to take her on then?
Sometimes the orders are implied.
I am just flattered that my island was considered such a safe haven. And it is. I'm sure she's fine wherever she is.
Well, did the other residents of your island know that she's not to be with?
I've tried not to speak about her too much.
I meant, well, I mean, of course you wouldn't want your guests to find out. Interesting.
Are we in any danger here?
Not
mean,
to my knowledge.
Any more danger than we are anywhere else in the Feywild?
Danger from what? Danger from who?
Well, I mean, some of
And
your
what do you
guests are
consider-
pretty damn.
What do you consider dangerous? Because you've been traveling in Rafferty's company for quite some time now.
I mean, buffoonery aside, he is a little bit dangerous, as has been evidenced.
He certainly brought me a fair amount of pain and heartache.
Oh yes, I'm sure your suffering due to me has been immense.
It has been, but we all must learn our lessons somehow, and I have certainly learned mine.
Boy, you can say that one again.
This will be the last arrangement of this sort that I make, I think. Until my next drunken trip, but we'll see.
Oh, so saving Rafferty was a drunken mistake. That's amazing.
Saving Rafferty was a drunken lost bet. One that it seems I will be paying for years to come.
Do you like ale?
I do. In fact, you have...
Davi will actually pull out a flask of her own. Would you like to try some?
I would love to try some.
All you had to do to earn Davi's friendship was insult me enough.
I've actually placed a few casks in your room, Davi, that I thought you might be interested in.
Oh.
Davi won't make much
No
motion
ale.
to it, but yeah, she warmed a little. Enough she'll pour him a flask of actually good ale.
He takes it. That is very good. It's not as bad as prime material ale usually is.
Well,
You know,
she is a dwarf. I mean,
Sure.
some of us are more skilled than the others.
Yes, I've had a few dwarves in my crew, and they are certainly... And if it isn't your fault, keep in mind, it's just the materials that you're able to work with on the prime material plane are less colorful, less flavorful oftentimes. But once I get them over here and I have them brewing, they can make some incredible masterpieces. One of the kegs in your room is actually from one of the dwarves who was previously on my crew.
I would say.
Where's he
isn't
now?
it-
Oh, he passed some time ago.
Shame.
Is
Go ahead, sorry, Leah.
but the ale that Davi has, didn't she make it here in the Feywild?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Touched
did
it.
have a still that I set up
Still.
at the.
Then it's totally
Yeah.
delicious.
It's also her
But
part-time
no,
gig,
I mean,
so-
I mean, I don't know that we were in town long enough. But then they took my stupid house away, so you know.
They're sanitizing wounds with that now.
Well,
Davi dies a little inside.
Well.
she wouldn't want her still mixed up with healing.
How about we do this? How about you take a day, rest, you have it on my word, you're free to come and go as you wish. Think it over, talk amongst yourselves, see if you would like to take my deal. You are not yet bound to it, Rafferty, but if you want your freedom, then by all means, I would love to grant it to you. See if you're interested, then just taking a peek around the island, seeing what you can find. Anything you need in the meantime, you can tell Hector. He will surely tell me, and decide where it is you want to go from here. And I will talk to the prince and see when he's going to weigh in on matters.
Quick question: is since if he decides to take this offer and we go and look for your ward, do you have something in the way of a map or directions that we would have so we know how to get around your islands? None of us have ever been here.
Maps are boring. They tell you where everything's going to be, and what you want is a surprise around every corner. But if you'd like to get a view of the city, I can show it to you from above real quick, just to let you get your bearings.
That would be nice.
All right, this way, and he hops up immediately. and begins walking
Okay. I'm gonna look at Davi and it'll be like, do you want to go with me and look so that we can look at the city?
Sure.
out. This way, Hector.
Okay.
I'll follow along.
You can hear
Okay, I'm gonna
Hector's
go.
peg leg clopping along behind you all.
The guy
Yeah,
looks back and
I
sighs and
kind
goes,
of hop up and follow along.
all right, Hector, just catch up when you can, all right? I'm in a bit of a hurry. No time to wait.
No worries, I'll find you all.
And he heads on off. And he walks briskly, and as he goes down the hall, he points out, I don't know if you noticed, but this is my rock collection. These are my coins. These are my spoons. He just kind of points to all the cases as he goes, talking very flamboyantly, gesticulating. And he walks briskly. Definitely speed walking on his way, and he takes you back down the same hall that you came in. You pass a number of doors on your way as you go, and back out into the courtyard. But this time, instead of heading into the mansion, you notice that on the other end of it is this big, round, balcony-like area at the other end of the garden. He takes you over to the very edge there, and you were able to look out over the island and kind of see the geography of it. There is a kind of bowl of cliffs that seems to be surrounding this city that is down below you. It's like the land kind of curves up, and then you have the sheer cliff, and then it slopes down again towards the beach. But just given the trees and everything along the cliff, you can't quite see the beach, but you can, off in the distance, you can kind of see the ocean beyond the horizon. So you get an idea of what's there. The city below you is loud and rowdy and everything that you would expect a city to be. Interestingly, you notice that it seems to be divided into thirds, kind of like a pie. The one directly below you has a lot of black banners flying. The one over up and to the left seems to be dominated by the color red. And then the one up and to the right seems to be dominated by the color purple. And he
Purple,
kind
yep.
of spreads his arms out and goes, "Behold my paradise."
So, do they fight each other? Because we saw the ships in the harbor.
Constantly. It's beautiful.
Are they fighting for your favor?
Yes, to impress me and for the joy, the thrill of the hunt.
I mean, the two ships we saw were literally just stuck in the glass,
That is unfortunate.
shooting at
isn't
each
it?
other. That was a very boring fight. I mean,
It's better than.
Yeah, honestly, it
They're
was
just
really.
all gonna be
You know,
dead
there
with-
is some beauty in peace.
Agree to disagree. Regardless, normally they're able to maneuver better, but the glass has put a bit of a damper on the sea battles lately. I'm surprised they were still shooting. That's admirable.
Peace, creativity can bloom.
Yes, but imagine what the threat of your own death is for motivation. When you're not sure if you'll wake up tomorrow, the things that you're sure to accomplish.
And the things you're sure to accomplish, and you know you have time to accomplish them.
And that's exactly why, Dobby, you stayed home, right? In your nice little home and never ventured out on anything just to ensure your own peace and tranquility. That's
I
what brought
mean,
you all here.
it's quite obvious she left
That
home.
would be
Yeah,
a
but
joke.
if we had been at
Correct.
war, I wouldn't have had the luxury to actually travel and see things.
Regardless, it is my assumption that she's down here somewhere. I can't imagine she would have left the island.
Has Hector arrived to join us yet?
Not yet.
We'll have to,
perhaps-
if we find some stuff, I might be able to search her out a little bit. But I'll need to know more about her.
Well, you're welcome to her room. I don't know her that well, honestly.
Why not?
Well, for one, because I did not want to entice her too much to join my crew. You know, she has other things. She wasn't mine to entice, let's say. But, oh, it's complicated. Regardless, she's been well taken care of at this point. Hector is a wonderful papa.
Has Hector arrived yet? Because I want to ask Hector a question.
And with that, you start hearing the peg leg strike the deck of this I guess to describe it as a
Marble walkway or something. The Admiral looks back. Look at that tireless dedication. There is no other man alive like Hector. I'll miss him when he dies.
I'm not getting any younger.
I know.
Hector, since you know,
And he sticks up a finger and he pauses here and he kind of puts a hand on his hip, and you can tell he's breathing hard because he was clearly working quite a bit to get here, and he strokes his beard and takes a deep breath and, all right, what is it?
I just wonder. Well, first, Admiral, would the different factions down there, but delineated by the different color banners, are they very different from each other?
Quite different.
Okay. Hector, were there any of the factions down there that the ward seemed more similar to than others?
Don't give them any spoilers.
I've been instructed to not give you any spoilers.
Well, I'm asking so that we can maybe. I mean, I feel like that's kind of a question, because certainly she would want to go where she felt most comfortable if she went of her own free will.
They're all enticing in their own right. But how will you ever get the full experience if you don't get it firsthand? You can't have someone else describe to you how delicious a cake is, Eurolith. You have to taste it for yourself.
I mean,
Besides, look at it, isn't that big. You can traverse it in a day.
that's true.
Davil edged towards Hector. Is that his name?
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to looking over the balcony and really trying to get an idea of the lay of the land point.
The Admiral looks at you and goes, "Don't fall." It's
Davil.
a joke. It's just a joke.
Airless gonna step back a little bit from the balcony.
No one's going to push you.
I'm gonna like wrap my tail around one of the banisters or something.
Davil tell Hector, you know, I might be able to, I don't know, ease your hurts a little bit. I don't know if you're okay with me trying. I'm a healer.
I appreciate it, but I've earned these, and around here, this is giving me his voice kind of quiets. This is kind of why I have so much respect around here. You know, I'm like,
That's all it takes.
You want me to chop your leg off, Rafferty?
I mean, apparently that's the currency.
I would like first crack at it, please.
Yes, how dare I not put you in any danger and facilitate all of your character growth to date? I'm awful.
Oh, me. Anyway, Earless is just gonna try to see, because I have that fun thing. I just want to get an idea of the layout of the city, the main roads, all that sort of thing. I can't think of any other questions right now.
Is Davi where she could cast a spell without being too obvious about it, or?
you could roll a sleight of hand, assuming it doesn't have any verbal or.
No, it's verbal and somatic, so. Alright.
Well, I guess that Rafferty has some thinking to do.
Certainly. I wouldn't want him to jump into anything without really thinking about the consequences. That's just not like him at all. So why don't you take some time, go to your rooms, talk it over. Even if you just want to see the city to explore, I mean, not everyone gets to come here, you know. I think you would quite enjoy it. Whatever it is you feel up to, you're under no obligation at this point.
What's the time of day?
It's
Noon.
later. The sun has definitely moved. Probably closer
Really?
to like 3.
The sun moved.
Mm-hmm.
This is very weird, y'all. The sun hasn't moved since we've been here, except when we got further into the...
Yeah, everything here is weird.
Yeah, but this is weird for here.
This is exactly how here is supposed to be.
Well, personally, I'd like to see the brewery.
I kind of want to go to this girl's room and figure out some clues, but it's also midnight.
Yeah.
We have to. Rafferty has to decide what he wants to do. We have to talk about that, and then and yeah, we would want to see. How do we get in touch with Hector if we want to see your ward's rooms?
I mean,
Well, for him, I suppose.
most folks around here just holler,
He's not doing much these days.
hobbling about.
I mean, you can hear us from wherever we are at.
I mean, how loud are you gonna yell? You gotta
Well,
try.
You can also just go exploring, you know. Any room you shouldn't be in will be locked. I'm telling you, we don't do the same things here that they do in the court where you have certain areas you're supposed to be. I admire someone with a bit of curiosity and adventure who's willing to go out and find their own answers.
Davi will just look at Jackie and give a little grin.
Okay.
I wouldn't have invited you here if I wanted you to stay locked in a room the entire time. That's boring.
Something tells me that you don't do boring very well.
Oh, I don't do boring. I never do boring.
Okay. All right. Yes, let's... Maybe Rafferty will make better decisions this time. And
That was funny. He starts walking back towards the mansion.
he has our influence now, though. Alright. I guess let's get Hector to show us where our rooms are or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
So
It's a good stopping point,
Yeah.
maybe midnight.
Yes. So I can. Hector will take you to your rooms. I'll describe the rooms in chat. So
Okay.
that way we're not keeping people.
Good, because I have a feeling Davi and I need to have a long talk.
He's going to inspect the rock collection. She's going to the brewery and the girls' room.
Yeah.
She's completely charmed by the Admiral at this point. I'm impressed.
I will say that the fact that he keeps saying that you have completely misrepresented him makes me laugh. So, the other thing is too, not only do we want to look at the girls' room, we might want to look around just in general and see what we see and find. So, but yeah, so you're going to tell us the room so we can do RP chat, right? Yes? Yes?
Yep.
Maybe?
We'll stick all that in our P chat.
Yep.
All right, yay! So we could do chat room, RP, and maybe help Rafferty make his decision. You know, although I think it would be funny since the Admiral actually wants to get rid of him if Rafferty chose to stay in his service. And I also think that Davi would want to find the girl even if Rafferty didn't want to.
So Rafferty's play here is to sit in his room drinking wine while Davi finds this poor helpless girl, right?
Yeah, you think she's gonna let you get out of
Except
your...
Davi's, I mean, you got to know deep down that Davi's goal is going to be to try to free the girl.
Well, the girl is free. That's
Yeah,
the
the girl
problem.
can leave whenever she
Well,
wants.
then we're going to convince her to leave.
I mean, the Admiral clearly doesn't give a shit, so...
I mean,
It's like a
He
quarter
gives
of the
it-
shit.
he gives enough of a shit because he's supposed to be keeping her safe.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
You guys
worried
don't
about
see
what-
the side of the Admiral that goads and tortures me into betraying two of you. But he has a rock collection and some beer, so...
Feels like a perfect characterization of the Admiral.
Well,
That's why the whole time she's been doing this, I've been over here like...
yep, you're in trouble. Okay.
I'm fine. Apparently I get out of this service pretty easy. I'm sure the quest we're on now is going to suck, but I got options now. We're owed at least 2 favors.
Well, I don't see how we're owed any favors. Literally, doing this would get you out of your bond with him.
No. We're in with 2 of the 2 heavy hitters. Like we got the Frostbright Queen and what's her face in the Autumn Court. I'm sure they're both awful. I'm sure Frostbright Queen day 1 is like, okay, I need you to go murder 7 children.
I mean, I know that they're not great. I mean, the Autumn Queen hasn't given us even any reason to.
She runs a segregated society where her sentient animal citizens are treated like literal second class.
I mean, that's everywhere in the Feywild.
That's the Sprite Queen, yeah.
It
Also they are.
I mean, it's everywhere in the Feywild. But I will say the Autumn Queen does have a way of turning people into statuary. We've seen that too. So, I mean, that's not necessarily...
Yeah, she runs her unsanctioned fight club, and she's like, just get people to get in the maze. They'll be
Queen.
fine.
I'm talking about the Autumn Queen.
Oh, yeah, the Autumn Queen? She's
Yeah,
under
she
the
has-
influence of Creepy Guy.
Creepy guy.
Oh, that's right, the Frost Prince guy.
Heretofore known as Creepy Guy. Casta, from now on, let me pick the names. We'll be
Deal. Sorry about that.
No, that was the highlight.
Hey, at least
I
he
wanted-
didn't name her Ghostbuster.
I was screaming
That's
for
true.
Ghostbusters.
Lord have mercy.
Honey would have had an aneurysm and fallen over.
I would have lost all
Ugh.
faith in Cag.
But that's the thing. I think I will miss the Admiral. Like, I don't want him to go.
You're really gonna miss Elder's Blast.
Yeah. Also, guys, if I'm free, I'm literally like a level 1 wizard
Without a spell book.
without a spell book. Yeah, I lose everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this is really not good for you.
Oh,
But you got to be smarter about it.
Yeah, like I said, well, maybe I'll get better terms. We'll see.
He's talked to the crown.
Yeah, 2 people beholden to the crown. I'm sure that's a good plan. Maybe I can.
And you act like you think that
Maybe
Yeah,
I can make a deal with a
gonna
great
give you-
old one. Maybe I can make a deal with a great old one. I'm sure that wouldn't be worse.
there are plenty of demons.
There is absolutely nobody is beholden to a crown. FYI.
The crown is beholden to me.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got my
Oh,
oath.
me.
I'm not trying to take it, nor am I helping any of you who tries to take it.
oh me oh my y'all.
Yeah,
You
good
guys
session.
made it! Congratulations! You're on the island!
We made it to Lear.
Finally.
He's a real asshole.
Sitting there
I
at
don't
one
know,
point,
he's
like,
kind of charming.
if we go over to the demons and get in a fight, and Casta doesn't get to roleplay the Admiral, this is gonna suck.
Oh.
I've been waiting for this moment. I do wish that we had gotten here. Maybe I should have just not said anything and let the whole thing with Leah play out. Maybe that would have been funnier. But I felt like Rafferty would try to get himself out of the hole that Lear made him dig. In a
So much that
convoluted...
Lear made him dig, but you know,
You literally saw him attempt to drown me. Literally listened to her describe night terrors of me drowning.
Lear didn't make you decide to steal from party members.
And he values loyalty. So the fact that you were disloyal to your party.
No, he doesn't care that I was disloyal to you. He cares that I was disloyal to him. Okay. He gives 2 shits about any of you. But he's a charmer.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
This is great.
I'm
He's pulled
excited.
Leah's wool over his eyes. He conspired with me to do horrible things to her, and he's like, haha, she'll like me because I'll make fun
They're pretty
of her.
sure it was not his idea.
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure he didn't give her
specifically
crap.
told he wanted exotic. Yeah, like it was. Casta can back me up on that. I was given some instruction.
This sounds like not the DM's conversation.
That's
I will
a
neither
dodge.
confirm
Is what
nor
that
deny.
You can watch the sessions and all the horrible things Lear did every time you guys got a long rest. You guys are getting a long rest. I was getting a long torture.
All I can say is these rooms are going to have to be something amazing before Davi will sleep in one by herself. She'll go find Irlith and share a room.
So I'm actually going to put all of the descriptions for each of your rooms in chat.
Oh my
except
god,
for
how
tabs.
shitty is my room going to be compared to the rest?
Except for tabs. Tabs I'm going to describe at length during next session.
Why?
Because he loves extensive room descriptions.
I get that. I understood that reference.
I did too.
I did too. And but you really have to describe it down to the very teeniest, tiniest
It's
detail.
nine levels.
Oh my God! Tab is thinking about buying a Roomba finally.
They're on sale.
I'm
Which
like,
one?
I can't believe this.
Do you have a
Roombas
dog?
are life changers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does the dog ever make a mess in the house?
No.
No.
He
But
is, he is absolutely neurotic about the vacuum, though. So that'll be fun
he'll
for
be
him.
terrified of it, but
Do you
I
have
don't
a
care.
cat?
No
No.
cats.
Oh
Okay,
God,
good.
no.
Because the thing about the Roomba is, it will run right over pet mess and then be like, "Woo!"
That's why we don't have that in the house. Except when he shits himself seeing the Roomba.
Yeah. Thank you, Casta, for being Lear. He's awful.
Yeah.
I love
You guys are
him.
coming.
Cag, you need to study Jeffrey Rush for your Hector next time.
Jeffrey Rush.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Barbosa. Go get it.
Deal.
All right. Night,
All
guys.
right.
Go
Good night,
to bed.
everybody.
Night.
Love
Thank
Good
you
y'all.
night.
guys. This was awesome.